Welcome to Pulp Diction, the podcast where I talk about movies with my friends for an academic obligation. And I guess I'll just do an intro. Welcome back to the Pulp Diction podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Gibson, once again joined by Emma Jo Douglas.
Hello.
And we're doing something pretty different today. It's the end of summer. Everyone's going back to school. It's very sad.
Yay. I'm excited, actually, but I don't know about you, but...
I'm not.
Yeah. What's the difference between college and high school?
Yeah, like second year of college, last year of high school. I have mixed feelings, but I'm not here to talk about my feelings. I'm here to talk about movies. So, yeah, I wanted to do something different. I just had an idea, like, what if we just kind of casually had a little chat about whatever movies we watched this year, what we liked, what we didn't like.
Okay.
Just whatever. I was just going to look at my Letterboxd diary just for inspiration.
I have been slacking on Letterboxd. I haven't been keeping track of everything, so I have it all on my notes of just the titles.
I mean, you know, good enough. Like, and not even that. Like, even if you just know some of the things you've watched, if you can't remember it without looking on Letterboxd, was it even worth remembering?
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, I just kind of figured, like, since half the episodes I've done in person have been like a third of the runtime ends up being just off-topic tangents.
Right.
What if I just did like an entire episode that's basically off-topic tangents?
Yapping. We love it.
You love to see it. So, yeah, the first movie I watched this summer was The Wolverine.
That was the first one?
Yeah,
okay.
I was in the middle of my X-Men watch / rewatch.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, yeah, I was really excited for Deadpool and Wolverine, so I was trying to get through them all. Because I'd never finished every single X-Men or Wolverine movie. And the ones I had watched, I hadn't seen since I was, like, little. Relatively little, anyway.
I still haven't seen any X-Men movies.
Yeah, I think... So, I appreciate them more than I... Well, some of them I do actually really like. The first one's okay. The second one's pretty good. The third one, I didn't hate as much as some people. Because some people will have you believe it sucks completely. Like, it's just irredeemable. It wasn't awful by any means. Well, it was awful by some means.
Okay.
But, like, I mean,
I gotta be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna watch these, so go ahead and spoil.
I mean, I guess there's some stuff to spoil. Like, Xavier dies, but then he comes back by, like, it's so weird.
Really?
Because I guess before he dies, in the beginning of the movie, you find out he has, like, a comatose twin brother who is, like, brain dead. So I guess what he does is he, like, transfers his consciousness into his brain dead twin brother. So, whatever. And Magneto gets his powers taken away, but then he gets them back, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, The Wolverine was the first movie I actually watched this summer, and I thought it was okay. It's kind of weird because it's the middle child of the Wolverine movies, because people talk about Origins, how horrendous that was, or at least how campy, like, fun.
Yeah, and then Logan.
And then Logan is, like, amazing. Yeah. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I've seen so many people talk about how it's, like, peak cinema, and I'm like, okay, sure.
It's one of the best Marvel movies, easily. But
I do want to watch the Wolverine stuff. I like his character. Just a lot of, like, the other X-Men things I've just never been interested in.
The thing is, they focus so much on Wolverine that they're all basically Wolverine movies anyway.
Hilarious.
Just, he has more friends in these ones.
Gotcha.
But people have criticized the X-Men movies for that, actually. And I get it. Like, Cyclops in particular is one character that they kind of disregard or just almost butcher in favor of making Wolverine cooler.
Right.
Which people have been noticing lately with the X-Men 97 series.
Oh,
just how cool Cyclops is when he's not being written terribly.
Right.
Because he never really got his chance to shine in these.
Isn't the silver dude in Deadpool? He's in those movies, or one of them.
Silver dude.
The big, like, metal guy.
Colossus.
Yeah, is he in those? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Deadpool.
I heard that he wasn't that great of a character in those movies, but great Deadpool.
Yeah, he had. So there are two different Colossuses, and they get all whatever with the timelines. It's best if you just don't think about it.
Okay.
Especially with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
That one makes no sense whatsoever, but it's fine.
Okay.
Because, like, in the original X-Men movie, like, X-Men 3, you have... Or, no, it was 2. You have a Colossus, and it's, like, it's fine. He's very much a background character, kind of supporting. He doesn't even have a Russian accent or anything. But he's fine. Okay. But then he shows up in the Deadpool movies, and it's so good, because he's such a funny character.
Yeah, I love him in that.
He plays it so straight, and he's just the stereotypical, like, hero type, just good guy.
Nice.
And it's great. Which, Deadpool, I did rewatch those two in my X-Men, in my road to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Nice.
Which you still have yet to see.
But I swear, like, I have seen it because of all the clips.
So much
I've seen everything.
Is getting posted.
I saw it, like, the day it was released. Like, I saw, like, this is obviously spoilers, but, like, Chris Evans and everything like that.
Yeah.
And his character. And so then I was like, alright.
Yeah.
Already saw the movie.
The one cameo I got spoiled for was Human Torch. I was pretty good at avoiding all the other ones.
Really?
I did see it opening weekend as
well.
I saw,
like, literally everything. Oh, well, opening weekend, yeah.
Which I was so pleased by some of I was shocked to see Channing Tatum Gambit.
Which movies is he
So
in?
he wasn't in a movie.
Really?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So for years, Channing Tatum was trying to get a Gambit movie off the ground, right?
I heard that.
Yeah, it was like his passion project. It's his favorite character ever.
Okay.
And he wanted like nothing more than to play him. And it was supposed to happen. They had a team together. I think they had like a director attached, writers, everything. And it was fine. It looked like it was finally going to happen, but then Disney bought Fox, so every X-Men project was canceled.
Oh, okay.
Including some stuff with like Josh Brolin Cable.
Okay, so he wasn't in any other movie or anything?
None. Which is kind of the reason Ryan Reynolds got him to be in this.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to finally give him the chance he never really got. Yeah.
I love that.
It's so good. Like Ryan Reynolds,
he's such a cool guy.
He's so cool.
Oh,
and I've been hearing stuff about him and Blake Lively with It Ends With Us. But like I'm not gonna think about I'll just
Blake Lively has been going crazy.
Yes.
I've seen everything, and like her just being like, anyway, go watch my husband's movie instead of mine, and it's like, okay, fine. I will, actually. I was already planning on doing
this
that.
Stuff she said to some interviewer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, fat shaming her.
It's crazy.
I was like, where did this Blake Lively come from? Because everything else I've seen, or like think I know of her, like she seems like this sweet lady.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just like, boom, she's actually this like really like a jerk. And I was like, okay.
Like, what happened here?
Sure.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have always liked Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and
me too.
I
thought they were such like, you know, a power couple, and I still think they are.
Yeah.
They're great together. But I just think Blake Lively,
whatever's going on here, they need to get their act together. And her just
throwing off like the whole entire premise of the movie and just being like, "It's a cute little rom-com. Grab your girls."
It's not.
Did we? Okay.
It's about like the cycle of abuse.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence, yes.
And like she's in an abusive relationship, and she's like, "It's a cute little rom-com." No. Oh my god, I was never even gonna plan on watching the movie because. Okay. I never wanted
Usually people say bless you, but
no,
that's fine.
I'm not going to. Because I know, like, the whole book, I didn't even read either.
Yeah, are you a big Colleen Hoover?
No.
Okay.
I will never read one of her books, ever. I am a huge rom-com reader, but I will never, ever read a Colleen Hoover book.
Fair enough.
She just, like... She romanticized her parents' abusive relationship and wrote it into a book.
Ooh.
And I know, and I've seen like tweets being like, just so you know, like here's some little excerpts of some of her books, and they're like actually like insane. Like, how is this a like world recognized author.
I've seen
She
so many
sucks.
TikToks just making fun of her and
She's
her writing.
awful. And I was like, I've read so much of her little things, being like, oh yeah, by the way, y'all are loving her and loving this little thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how people
But I
do
mean,
that.
clearly there is an audience because this movie's made more. I am
It's
mad
so
at the movie.
popular.
It's
The
doing
book-
well.
Like the book, even when it came
Mm-hmm.
out, like everybody was reading it, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, have you ever heard of Colleen Hoover? She's the best romance author." And Penelope Douglas. It was those two, and
Yeah.
it was Colleen Hoover was the best one. And I literally remember like senior year of high school. I don't know when this book came out to begin with. I guess it was when I was in high school, and I saw it everywhere. Everyone was recommending these books to me, and I was like, "No, thank you." I was like, "That
Yeah.
sounds awful." Like, just romanticizing a relationship like that. No.
Does not sound.
No.
Yeah.
I will never do that. And
Weird.
even my sister and my mom read that. My
Did
mom was
they?
like, "Oh, it's kind of cutie." No, thank you.
This is the same one.
Yeah,
right?
it ended
Okay.
us. And there was another one that Ainsley Davis read, and
Yeah.
it was called November 9th. And she gave it to me, and she's like, "I need you to read one page." And that's it. And I did, and I went, "Did you read this whole thing?" She goes, "I read a chapter and I threw it." And I was like, "Good."
Did she say like a
It was,
specific page or
Yes,
a random
a specific page.
Or, okay.
And I was like, no. I was like, why would somebody read that willingly? And then like weeks later I saw my mom's shelf of books, and I was like, can I burn that, please? No.
We should see if Ainsley wants to do another podcast one
Oh.
of these days.
We should all watch It Ends With Us. See how she really
That would actually be really funny.
Oh my god. That'd be terrible.
Oh,
I've been
man.
trying to avoid all that stuff. Like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna watch it.
Like,
And like my friend went and watched it. She was like, "It was so good," and I'm like, and we were like, "What? Like really? Like
yeah. Like now that I don't work at the movie theater anymore and I don't get tickets for free, I don't know
Right.
how badly I want to go see a
no,
bad
exactly.
movie anymore
All
either.
like, especially at school, even when we have a movie theater right around the corner.
That's
and we have
nice.
we have a student discount, but it takes off maybe $3. But I'm like, I always try to be like, okay, do I really want to go see this?
Yeah.
Or like, who knows?
Because even the money aside, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours of your time.
Right, I went and saw, the only thing in that theater I've seen currently is the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie. So that was 3 hours of doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how, like, kind of far away it was from my campus. It was like a 5-minute drive, but it was like a 30-minute walk, and I didn't know it was a 30-minute walk until I started walking there with my friend, and we were like, when are we gonna get there?
Are we there yet?
It's pretty hot.
Yeah.
It's September in the middle of the day.
Ooh.
It was.
Yeah, we've
or
had
it
some.
was October or whatever. I don't know,
Yeah,
but still.
whatever. We've had some humid, hot falls.
It feels amazing outside, though. I'm really excited for the fall. Please. I need to
Please
feel
just
good.
get here.
But I know
Over summer.
Whiplash is coming to theaters.
It is.
I think for its 10th anniversary or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm absolutely spending money
amazing.
going seeing that.
Yeah.
And I know Interstellar is too, so I'm kind of like might do that one also, but depends how much free time I have.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean,
That's always
Yeah.
a big factor. Last year, I really wanted to go see the anniversary. Like, it was one of those 2-day re-releases of a movie.
was it the Spider-Man movies?
No, it was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh,
And
okay.
I really wanted to go see that.
I didn't know that came back in theaters.
Yeah, it was an anniversary thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. And yeah, I really wanted to go see it because it's one of my favorite movies ever.
Right.
It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's a perfect movie.
It's a good one.
But, I mean, I just had too much homework.
That's fair.
And it killed me not to see it.
Oh man.
And I saw Dial of Destiny last year, which wasn't as bad as everyone says it
That's
is.
the newest
It's
one,
the
right?
newest one.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that. I've only seen
Have you
the
seen all the
first-
other ones?
I've only seen the first 3. And there's a 4th, right?
Yeah, there's Raiders, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was the new one.
Right.
And now the new one's Dial of Destiny, which is the only one that wasn't directed by Spielberg.
Okay.
Yeah, it's James Mangold, who did Logan,
Oh, okay.
and he did Walk the Line. He's doing that Bob Dylan movie.
Oh, wow. That's Timothy Chalamet, right?
Yeah. Oh, he did Ford versus Ferrari.
I love that movie
It's really good.
so much. That was like one of the starts to me liking cars.
The gateway.
The gateway to Ferrari loving. Literally wearing Ferrari shirt
I was gonna
right
say
now.
you got the merch.
That's so funny. Oh man, I need to look at my Letterboxd.
Yeah. Let's see.
Looks like the first summer movie I watched was Baby Driver.
That's such a good movie. I watched it for the first time this year too. I love it.
It's so funny. I always would be like going around with my friends and like, or like when I meet somebody, we talk about movies. They're like, "Wait, let me guess. Like your favorite movie, like because you like Formula One, is Baby Driver." And I'm like, I've never seen that. And they're like, "What?"
I feel like they'd say Ford v Ferrari.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
I was like, how does Baby Driver the first thing you think of for like
like
Formula
driving?
One?
I guess whatever.
But that was so good.
It's such Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors ever.
What else has he done? I can't remember.
He did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End, Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, I still need to see that. That's what my roommate's favorite movie.
They're all very stylistic, visual. He loves to do stuff that like syncs to music.
Oh my
and
god!
And Baby Driver's like the culmination of that.
I was just edge of my seat. I was like, this
that.
is the best thing in the world.
It's so
like
good.
being like a musician and like having always those things like on beat. I was like, this is like the best feeling.
Like
in the
I
world
was
right
so
now.
sold on the movie in the first 10 minutes.
Me too. Literally, yes, exactly. Like when he's going around the town buying the coffee, I was like, this is it.
Yeah,
I love this.
driving sings to music.
Yes.
Like dancing, lip singing,
gunshots
gunshots sings to music.
Yes.
And the thing where he's just walking through with all the words on the walls.
The words, I was like, oh my
It's
god, look
so
at that. The
good.
lyrics. Oh my god, I was watching it with my dad and Edith, and Edith Ann's also a musician, so she was like the whole time freaking out. She's like, it's on beat! It's on beat! And I'm like,
I know,
it was so good.
It's one of my favorite soundtracks ever.
I need to rewatch it, but
and that movie put me on to Brighton Rock by Queen.
Because
I like Queen. I've always loved Queen, obviously.
They're one of my favorite bands.
But I'd never heard Brighton Rock before that.
Me neither.
And I love it. It's such a good song.
I loved I'm forgetting her name, the actress. It's Lily something. Oh my god.
In what? In Baby Driver? She played Baby's like love interest from The Waitress.
Lily James.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always loved her and all the things she did, like the live action Cinderella. She was Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which I never fully finished. I watched that this summer.
That's the second one, right? Okay.
I'm really, like, hot take, not a Mamma Mia fan.
No?
No.
I've not seen the movie. I saw when my school did the musical. I saw it.
That's funny.
Which I loved.
Really?
I was so into it.
I gotta be honest, I like the idea of it. Like, it's a cutie little
It's very
romance.
cute.
I like the second one more than the first one.
Do you?
Yeah, because that's the whole backstory of the mom meeting the three guys. And
Okay.
It's like a whole thing. But I just never finished it. But even to begin with, I like musicals, but that one was just like, okay. I was like, there's a song every 2 seconds. Like,
yeah.
This is a little much.
And it's all ABBA.
That's my thing. I love ABBA. But, like, I just can't be listening to that when I'm trying to watch, like, a movie. Like, always hearing songs just from one artist, too. Like, if it's musicals and if it's different things, I'm fine with it. But it's just one artist, I'm like, gotta take a break, please. But,
yeah, shoot. Did I watch any other music? I feel like I watched some musical or another. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't.
I don't think I did.
I don't think I did. Okay, I'm tripping. Shoot, I saw Furiosa. I think that's the first movie I saw in theaters this year was Furiosa.
Which one is that? Is that the newest one?
It's the new Mad Max thing.
Okay.
Which, have you seen any of those? That's another, like, very visual, like, stylistic visuals.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures from those.
And I was actually kind of pissed when I found out Furiosa flopped at the box office.
Really?
Because it was amazing. And especially, that rage kind of reignited, because It Ends With Us did so well.
Yeah.
It made so much more money than Furiosa did.
Oh my god.
And then The Fall Guy did, which is another great movie that came out this year.
I still need to watch
flopped.
that. That looks so good.
It's a rom-com with stuntmen. It's so good.
Oh my gosh. I just love Ryan Gosling.
He's amazing.
The best. Oh, he's one of my favorites.
He's just like me for real. I drive.
None of that. My grandparents were recommending it to me, and I was like, I need to watch it so badly. Oh man, I've watched a lot more shows this summer.
I did a lot of TV show watching. Like, I finished The Sopranos, which I did a whole episode on. Go check it out.
And you started Game of Thrones?
I just started Game of Thrones. I'm almost done with the second season.
Okay. That's really good.
It's amazing.
I finished Game of Thrones, like, I want to say May. Maybe, like, closer to April. Because then I started House of the Dragon right after. And I finished season 1 a little bit before season 2 came out. And oh my god,
didn't that just end a few weeks ago?
It just finished. Yeah. And I'm not okay. I need more. I hate when shows do only like 10 episodes a season. Yeah. And then expect us to wait like 2-3 years for more. And I'm like,
I do think 10 episodes a season is reasonable when they're like hour long.
It definitely is.
Whereas with like Invincible, they're like 20-minute, 30-minute episodes.
Oh yeah.
Which that I'm still bitter about. Making us wait forever for the second half of the season, and then it's only a few more episodes. Whatever. That's fine. That's fine.
How are you liking Game of Thrones?
I'm loving it, dude.
Yeah.
I can't get enough.
I cannot wait till you get to season 8.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I know. I just know I'm gonna be destroyed.
Listen, that's what I said. Like, I heard how bad it was,
and
I was like, okay, I just gotta calm down, and I gotta watch it. It'll be okay. And then, literally, like, one of the worst episodes that was playing, I'm screaming at the TV. I was dog sitting at the Skeepers, and I'm yelling at this TV. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's funny.
And I called my best friend who loves Game of Thrones too, and I was like, what did you just make me watch? What did you just do? And then it ended in such, like, a terrible way that some people have different opinions on, because, like, it was like a character.
Well, it's so crazy because the stranglehold this show had on pop culture for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, I was really young at the time, obviously way too young to watch it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I remember it was like everyone's like all talking about it and seeing all these things everywhere.
Seeing it all over commercials, magazine covers, posters. Everywhere.
Everybody
you
was
couldn't
talking
go
about it.
anywhere without seeing or hearing about Game of Thrones.
Dude,
and now nobody talks about it.
Really?
Aside from like House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
It's kind of ignited
I see it like because I follow certain like accounts on Instagram and stuff like that, and I like on TikTok there's like every once in a while I'll see stuff. So like obviously people still like it, but it's like now House of the Dragon's like the main thing. But no, yeah, Game of Thrones.
And it definitely hasn't like gotten to its former glory.
Well, House of the Dragon's doing good, so everyone was kind of like worried for when it first started, like especially after season 8. But like the way like this season ended, it was already better than season 8. And like the best thing about it is that it's got 2 seasons planned, like coming up. It's gonna end at season 4, and they know it. And they already have everything pre-written. While the other hand, season 8, they're like, all right, what do we need to write? We need to write it now, and it's got to come out next year, here. And it was just rushed.
Because they ran out of source material, too.
Yeah.
George R.R. Martin still hasn't written those last 2 books.
He literally, I just saw a post about it, how he regretted not finishing those books. And it's like...
And I was just reading the Wikipedia page, too. The last one came out in 2011.
I know.
13 years ago. Man, how long...
It does not take that long. I'm like, no.
But it is kind of funny, too, because I think about this clip... He's talking to Stephen King, and he just goes, "How the f*** you write so many books so fast?" Because Stephen King is a machine.
New book every like 2 months.
Yeah,
it's like what?
Well, because he has a rule for himself. It's like 1,000 words a day.
No, thank you.
Yeah, right.
No, thank you.
But he's also Stephen King. So.
Oh yeah. My grandparents are huge Game of Thrones fans too, and so I was talking about it while we were driving to Italy, and oh my god, I wanted to strangle them because the way that it ended, it's like I said, it's a controversial ending, and people have different opinions on it, and majority rules like people hated the way it ended.
Did they like it?
They liked the way it ended, and I just sat there in silence, and I'm like.
I'm happy
I was
for
like,
you.
I was like, can you explain that to me? And they're like, well, it was like this. It's better than it would have been. And I'm like,
okay, better.
I just had to breathe, and I was like, no.
See, it's the thought process I have like with the Star Wars sequels.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with people saying it was good, but like if you say this is the best it could have been. Yeah. Or it's better than any other thing they could have done.
Right.
That's when I start taking an issue.
Exactly. Oh man, there were so many things wrong with season 8, and I just want to talk about it right now, but you don't. I know, I won't. No. But I I ranted to Edith Ann. She's never seen Game of Thrones. She
should
never watch Game of Thrones for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm like ranting to her about the last season. And I was like, when this happened and this person and this thing was happening, I was like, when it should have been this.
I know there's something about Daenerys, and I think Jon Snow does a thing. That's all I know.
There you go. You got it. That's it.
Yeah. I'm a fortune teller. I was telling Tucker about just what was happening in the show. I'm like, yeah, that guy is having an affair with his sister.
Oh yeah.
And the kid caught him.
Like that.
The kid caught him, so he threw him out the window. And he said, an affair with his sister. Yeah, they were. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm never watching this show.
It's so funny. It's so messed up. Oh my god. There's like everybody's sleeping with their sister or their uncle
it's
or
crazy.
Something like that.
It's so deranged. But at the same time, like a part of me is phased, but a part of me is so desensitized by the boys.
That's fair. I like Game of Thrones, I think was like the biggest like crazy thing for me. So like when I first saw like the twins, I was like, okay.
That's right. I forgot they were twins.
Right, and by the time I finished it and I started House of the Dragon, I'm sure you kind of already seen stuff.
Yeah, because they talk about the Targaryens, how they have done that for centuries.
And, like, it's so funny, and I was, like, so unfazed. Just sitting there, I was like, and literally, I was talking about it with my friend. I was like, this is gonna sound terrible. And if it was, like, taken out of context. But I love them together. And he's like, Emma, their uncle and niece. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, they were characters together. It's just, listen.
You heard it here first.
Once you watch the show, I'm gonna edit that
clip out of context.
You'll understand when you watch the show. Like, truly, their characters are great together. So it's like, why did you have to be uncle and niece? You know, it's like, come on, it would have been so great if you were just regular people. Oh my god, it's insane. I can't.
It's
so bad.
It's the world of Westeros.
It literally
Anything goes.
It's so bad. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Let me see.
Yeah, Sopranos and Game of Thrones. I had to take like a TV break after Sopranos just to process.
Yeah.
I'm like, because after that was a really good ending.
Really?
Yeah. Some people don't like it.
That's what I heard.
But, I get why completely. Okay. But like, yeah, and I keep saying, I've said this in like 2 episodes now, but like the pretentious, like overly analytical side of me is like, this is genius.
Yeah. Oh man.
But also there is a part of me that's like, what?
Jesus. Oh my god. How are you on The Bear?
The Bear, I have not watched it in a bit, but okay. I am loving it. Tucker's loving it.
So
it's such a good show.
It's so stressful.
It is very, very stressful.
You're in season 2 now?
Yeah, middle of season 2.
Last episode of season 1 was crazy for me when they're like, when the tickets are coming in before they're even open.
Oh, I think that was the second to last.
Was it second to last? I thought it was just last.
I don't know. It was one of those two.
But still.
But yeah, that was...
Oh. Have you gotten to the Thanksgiving episode?
Not yet. I think
I've
seen...
That's the most
Is that the one with Bob Odenkirk?
I think so, yeah.
I've seen like a clip or two.
What's his name? The stand-up comedian. I cannot...
Stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I think his name's like... He played the pig in the animated Spider-Man.
The pig in the... Oh! John Mulaney.
Thank you. I knew it was a John. I couldn't remember his last name. Yeah, he's in it, and so it's like Sarah Paul.
Yeah, it's got a great cast.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's the mom.
Huh.
And she's crazy. And she comes into another episode in season 3, and I just wanted to slap her so badly. She was making me just like clench my teeth really hard. I was like, "That you're driving me insane." Thanksgiving episode is probably the most stressful in that entire show. But so good. I think it got nominated for like separate.
It's gotten
Emmys.
Nominated for a lot of Emmys.
I think it made like a new record of how many Emmys
of like most Emmys for a comedy.
It like beat it like yeah.
What do you think of that? People like being nominated in like the comedy categories.
I don't see it as a comedy.
I think so. How I see it is it has like. Obviously, it's very dramatic.
Yeah.
And it is very dramatic. But I think it's like a very, very, like, it's a dark sort of comedy.
Yeah.
Almost in the same way the first season of Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad throughout is a comedy, you know? But, yeah, I could have seen it get put in either category, to be honest. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more I feel like it's heavy on the dramatic
I think
stuff.
it is more heavy on that.
Especially season 3. Season 3, I just feels like depressive a lot of the times. And I'm like, there's no comedy. I was like, I need some, like, feel-good vibes, like, from season 1. And, like, that I loved season 1. I need to rewatch it. My sister wanted to start the whole thing over. Because she literally, like, walked downstairs while me and my dad were watching season 3 and just watched the whole season with us.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it is.
You don't know what this is.
Like, you sit down and watch it. It's just... It's so nice to look at.
Yes.
It's so well acted.
Oh
the
my
soundtrack's insane.
There's an episode in season 3 that the girl who plays Sydney, Ayoade, she directs.
Really?
And it's probably the best episode in that season. Wow. And it's so good.
I really like her.
I love her.
She's one of my favorite, like, up and coming. Well,
yes.
I think she's up and came.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
There's rumors that she's going to be in, like, a whole bunch of other things and stuff like that. Like, there's this romance book that I haven't even read yet. People we meet on vacation and people want her to, like, play the lead, and it's most likely going to happen from what I hear, with Paul Mescal as her love interest. I just think that would be so cute.
I'm excited to see him in Gladiator too.
Oh my god. I'm so excited. I watched Gladiator for, like, the 20th time this summer, and I'm so
I think I watched that for the first time this summer.
First time?
First time.
There's
never seen
no
it before.
way.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie so many times. It's so good.
It's great. I loved it.
Hans Zimmer. I will never shut up about him.
I was watching it. I'm like, this sounds so Pirates of the Caribbean.
Exactly. Oh my god. I was listening I just listened to the soundtrack every once in a while, and there's, like, this one part in, like, the beginning battle scene. Let's talk about that. That's the best scene in that entire movie, I gotta be honest. Like, the whole beginning. I think
there are a lot of really
there's
good
amazing
ones.
Scenes, but I think that's probably one of my favorites. Like, the whole opening. And there's, like, this one bit where I just swear it's from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I was like, he just copied
during,
and
like,
pasted
that,
it right
what
there.
was it, like a prison break or something? Or a revolt?
Yes.
Something. It was just straight up, this is Pirates.
Exactly.
And I was into it, you know? I liked it.
He's gonna, oh my god, I'm going to see him in September, see him live in Maryland, and he plays bits of Pirates of the Caribbean. I listened to his album from 2023 when he on tour, and there's, like, a good bit of Gladiator, and I'm like, I'm so ready.
I'm so here for it.
I think Gladiator is one of my favorite scores from him, but just overall, that movie's so good.
It's great.
I love Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix does such a good job.
Amazing.
It'll never not be funny to me, though, that it was after watching Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator that Johnny Cash wanted him to play himself.
I thought that was so funny.
Like, have you seen the interview with him on, like, I think it's Conan?
No,
where
I don't
Joaquin's
think so.
telling the story.
Yeah, but I heard the story. I didn't think I
he
saw
does
the
the
clip, though.
voice. He goes, I love that part where you said your wife moaned like a whore and your son wailed like a dog.
Oh my God.
Put him on that cross.
I want you to play me. It's what?
He had dinner with Johnny and
That's
June.
amazing. He was so good. I love Russell Crowe. I haven't seen a lot of good things with him, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, what else? I'm trying to think what else I have seen him in. Freaking Thor, Love and Thunder. Yeah.
I want to see this movie called The Nice Guys. He's in it.
I love The Nice Guys.
You've seen it? I haven't seen it.
It is so fun. It
looks hilarious.
I watched that last summer, I think.
Okay.
It is one of my... It's so funny.
I saw a clip where, like, I think he just breaks or just, like, does something to Ryan Gosling's arm and he just screams.
The screaming in that movie that Ryan does.
I bet.
It is awesome.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited. I need to watch that.
I think last time I checked it was on Netflix.
It is.
Okay.
I've literally looked at it 1,000 times. I could have watched it on the plane coming back from Italy and I just went...
No, I would watch it again in a heartbeat.
Really?
It is amazing, and I'm so sad it doesn't have a sequel, and it's probably not going to get one because it failed at the box office.
Oh man, that sucks.
It was outdone by Angry Birds.
What?
That's what it had to compete with.
There's no way.
It came out on, like, the same weekend, so they were kind of competing.
Angry Birds?
But at the same time, I'm like, how much of that audience is really overlap?
For real.
So I'm like, maybe it just didn't have good marketing. I don't know.
That's crazy. I've seen the Angry Birds movie. It's not good.
Yeah, no, I've not seen it. It doesn't look amazing.
You know there's a second one?
I know there is.
I totally forgot about that.
I think they're making a third one.
There's no way.
I don't know,
It does
dude.
not need that.
But The Nice Guys that might be my favorite Ryan Gosling role.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I've loved him in everything I've seen him in. Like,
yeah.
I love Ken.
Of course.
I love The Driver.
Mm-hmm.
I love La La Land, obviously.
Right. I thought you were about to forget that. I was like, where's that?
No, I was trying to remember his name in La La Land. It's Sebastian. There it is.
Yep.
But of all those, Holland March, I can't remember if that's his name or Russell Crowe's name in the movie.
Yeah.
It's easily my favorite, I think.
That's hilarious. Have you seen Outlaw King?
I've not.
It's on Netflix. A lot of people don't like it, but I liked it.
What is it? I've not heard of it.
Hold on, I can't remember his name. So it's kind of like a historical fiction thing. Robert the Bruce, if you know anything, do you know kind of a whole bunch of like, I don't remember if it's Irish or Scottish stuff.
I have no idea.
It's Scotland history.
Okay.
So, Robert the Bruce, there was like an awful king, and he was the promised kind of king, whatever. He was supposed to be it, but got overthrown. I could be totally wrong with this. I gotta be so honest.
Just talking out your ass.
I could just be talking, but I'm right. So he was supposed to be king, and the guy who like stole his crown, I guess like took it from him or whatever, and so he's now called the Outlaw King, and he grabbed a whole bunch of different Scotland families, including Kingdom of Douglas, so that's kind of why I watched it.
Right.
And it's really funny because Aaron Taylor-Johnson plays the lead Douglas, and I'm like, oh really? My god! I was like, he's a part of my family. What the heck?
He plays Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
He's crazy though, because
really?
the Douglas clan in Scotland were like crazy,
nefarious.
Yeah, like this dude was like going like insane, just killing everybody because they wronged his family.
Dang. Just like, full, all right, like cool. Revenge for the most part, and then also. And then it just kind of goes into just why not? Yeah. Yeah, but it's But you would recommend, what is it? The Outlaw King. Outlaw King. It's average like 3 stars. I think I started 4. Out of 5. Yeah. Okay. It's Chris Pine. He's Robert the Bruce. There's other people in there. Florence Pugh is Chris Pine's wife. Jeez, when did this come out? 2018. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. It's on Netflix, I know that for sure, but I don't think it was made for Netflix. But it's really nice. There's a lot of good violence in there, which I do appreciate in a good action movie. Like R-rated or... Is it R-rated? I don't know. I think it might be, because it was pretty crazy. Yeah. I think it is R-rated because, like, I think Florence Pugh was naked in there. Okay. I cannot remember. She was naked a lot. Out of Oppenheimer too. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. I think it was pretty good. My mom loves that movie just for Chris Pine, and I'm like, I like it for Aaron Taylor-Johnson, but okay. Yeah. You know what I just saw Aaron Taylor-Johnson in not that long ago was Kick-Ass. Ooh. I had an itch for another superhero, like raunchy superhero comedy after Deadpool. And I'm like, what's another one? Mm-hmm. Oh, Kick-Ass is on here. I'll watch Kick-Ass, and I thought it was fun. Yeah, it was really fun. It looks kind of fun. What do you think about him being Kraven the Hunter? I will be seeing Kraven the Hunter. Really? I don't know. I'm not sure it'll be good. Right. But I'm excited to see it. Like the same reason I'm excited to see Venom 3. Oh my god. The Last Dance. I don't know if I'm going to see that. I still haven't seen Venom 2. I haven't seen Venom now that I think about it. I saw the first 2 in theaters, so I feel like I kind of have to see the last one. I saw Morbius in theaters. I still need to see it. Oh my god, don't see it. Don't watch it. No, I'm not going to watch it alone. It's like engraved in my head. I went and saw it with my ex-best friend now, and he dragged me there, and I was like, I'm not going to watch it. And $1 more billion. It was so bad. It was so bad. And Matt Smith is in it, and he's terrible. I love Matt Smith. And so that's why I saw him. I was like, oh my god, I love you. He wasn't even enough. He was terrible, and I was like, oh my god, what is this movie? Yeah. And my friend was like, that wasn't bad. And I looked at him and I was like, are you sure about that? I was like, okay. I was like, did we watch the same thing? And then his mom was like, oh my god, I loved it. And I was like, I need to leave. I was like, this feel safe. Okay. You people are insane. I found that out this year. It's fine. But it was a red flag. That was the beginning red flag. Yeah. It was so bad.
Oh my god, I was like, literally, I left and I texted Elliot. I was like, that was an hour and a half that I can never get back.
Man.
I was like, that was the worst movie.
Was it one of those movies? It was an hour and a half, you said?
Might have been 2 hours. It was sort of roughly around there.
Whatever it was, it felt like 4, didn't it?
It did. It felt like forever. I almost fell asleep during it. It was so bad. I was like, I can't do this. Because I don't fall asleep during movies.
No,
if they're bad, that's when I fall asleep. But it was crazy. Not good.
Ugh, man. Morbius.
Morbius.
What a silly film. Conversely to that experience, I will say I did see a few movies at the theater this year. Some of them good, not all of them. Most of them were good.
Okay.
I think there weren't a lot of movies I watched this summer that I didn't like.
Yeah.
One of them was Borderlands, which I did. Obviously, I saw in theaters because it's not out on VOD yet. I don't think. But it wasn't great.
I heard.
No. But Deadpool, obviously, I've seen, and that was the most fun I've had in a movie theater since John Wick 4. And
that
if
was
you know
the most
how much
fun you had?
if you know how much I love John Wick 4, then you know how high of a compliment that is.
Okay. I only saw like 2 movies in theaters this year. It was Twisters and Inside Out 2.
Right.
Which Inside Out 2 is so cute.
It was very
Have you
cute.
seen that? Yeah. It was adorable. And, Twisters was just a masterpiece. So, oh my god.
Go watch that episode on YouTube and Spotify.
That was good. I do want to watch it again. And it's out on HD, I think, because I'm seeing all the edits now. In perfect quality. So I was like, it's that time. I'm excited, and now I need to go watch this movie again.
I've seen a million Deadpool and Wolverine edits.
Me too.
It's not even...
Dude, Wolverine is taking over my TikTok. It is so crazy.
The amount of times in the past few weeks that I've heard bye 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 is absurd.
I'm hearing one. It's always Sir Mix-a-Lot, and it's I don't remember the name of the song. It's like it's got dog in the title, and it's Hugh Jackman, but the big edit was like from like one of the old X-Men movies. So it's like now he's coming back, and it's like, okay, dude, all right. Which I'm like, they're fine. Came out of nowhere though. Like, these movies been here for how long, and you're only just now editing them?
Well, you kind of see why, though.
Well, yeah. Still.
Yeah.
I just watched, like, 2 movies, literally, before I got here.
Oh, what were those?
Miller's Girl and 500 Days of Summer.
I've heard about Miller's Girl. I haven't talked to anyone who's seen it.
Wait, you seen it?
No. I said I haven't talked to anyone who's seen it. What did you think about it? Because I've read articles.
Right. It was... like what I expected and also not,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really weird. I like Martin Freeman.
Of course.
I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
I've loved him in like Sherlock and Black Panther and all the things he's
Hobbit.
I still have not seen. I need to watch those. But so I'm seeing him this and I was like, you're kind of weirding me out, man. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, because he's like, it's a teacher who has sex with his student, right?
He didn't even have sex with her.
No?
No, isn't that the crazy part? That's so funny. He doesn't even have it. She writes about it and then tells, gets him in trouble saying that they did.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's labeled, it was on Netflix, and I was like, sure, why not? I was going to watch it, some point, and it's labeled psychological and thriller, and I'm like... And the whole time I was like, where's the thriller? Where's the psychological part in this? I was like, it's just this 18-year-old who's obsessing over her English teacher and going crazy.
Yeah. So she is 18.
Yeah, she's 18.
Okay, that's slightly better.
Slightly better. Still weird.
Still weird.
And also, oh my god, this pissed me off the whole time. They're from Tennessee, so they have this accent.
It wasn't good?
No. Because Jenna Ortega would go from her normal voice to, some weird twang. And I'm like, girl, shut up.
Yeah, just
please.
Stop.
And, Martin Freeman didn't even try. I think he had, every once in a while a word. And she had this one, I don't even know.
Did he cover his British pretty well, or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was, just American.
Okay.
So it sounded perfectly
Which is
fine.
fair.
Which I keep forgetting. That's also the thing. I keep forgetting he's British. Because everything I've seen him, it's, mainly American. But, and then Jenna Ortega, she was, in this weird, couple thing with this girl. I don't know. That's the thing. They made out once, and then like they were like flirting the whole movie.
Huh.
Which
like
was
a
really
little
weird.
situationship.
I don't know, because the only time they made out was so she can take a picture of him and send it to a teacher. Not the teacher Martin Freeman plays, a different teacher.
Huh.
So there's multiple teachers flirting with students, and I'm like, what kind of school is this? I was like, this is actually kind of insane right now.
That's not okay.
I was like, I'm kind of getting high school flashbacks, but I have 2 teachers who have talked to students and like done some fun things in high school, so that's fun.
Very fun.
But it wasn't the best movie.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it was really weird, because I was like, there's no actual student-teacher relationship going on.
But
I think now that I think about it, I think they did kiss once, so there was, like, with that one person.
Okay.
But the other weird teacher-student relationship wasn't even anything. Oh, like, they're just weirdly flirting.
Yeah.
That's not a relationship.
That's
just
weird.
being weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing was kind of...
I've seen some of those.
Yeah. Yeah. I hated those.
Oh. But you said you also watched 500 Days of Summer. Have you seen it before?
No. First time.
Ooh. What did
I don't
you
know
think?
if I don't know. I'm kind of in the... It was fine for the most part. Just, I don't know. Zooey Deschanel, she's not my favorite.
Really? I like her.
She's fine. Just, I don't know. This one, she was kind of pissing me off. I don't know. And then I'm looking at these Letterboxd reviews, and I'm like, am I a man? Like...
I was gonna say, that's like a very common, like man
all the
who
girls
didn't get
are
the movie.
defending her, and the guys are defending him, and I'm like, I'm in the middle. I was like, what am I supposed to feel right now?
Mm-hmm.
I was so confused. Like, she was fine, and he was kind of like getting on my nerves, but like she was getting on my nerves.
He was very... They were both not great people.
No, because, oh my god, she was doing the whole, like, I just want to stay casual, but then you want to, like...
She very much was leading him on.
Yeah.
But he was also very much seeing something where there was nothing.
Right. That's why so I'm definitely kind of leaning with her, but also at the same time, I'm like, girl, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, no.
No, I do love the movie.
It's cute.
Yeah.
The ending, though, was funny with me, because he met that girl who's named Autumn. Like,
yeah.
Is he going to meet a damn girl named Spring and Winter? Like, what is this?
No, that montage, is it a montage? I don't know. That scene, though, the side-by-side, like, expectation versus reality.
That was good.
I
like
good.
that. I love the side-by-side things. Those are so cool.
It's like it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah. I was like, now I feel really, really bad, actually.
Yeah.
But, I think it was good.
It tugged my heartstrings.
Yeah.
A little. I think I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll admit it, you know, but
yeah. It was cute. But yeah, those are 2 I watched. I watched like 4 new movies. Like 3. Like when I was flying back from Italy, I watched the obvious. You have to watch it on an airplane. Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy. Okay.
I
haven't seen it.
It's good.
I've heard it's
really
very good.
Funny. It's like Awkwafina's in it, and I don't usually like
I've
her.
never been a fan of her.
Me neither, but she was pretty funny. And Ken Jeong was in there.
I like him.
He's nice. He didn't have a huge role. He was kind of really small, but he was still funny. And Michelle Yeoh is the mom. She was great. And
I'm sure she's always great.
I can't remember who the main guy is. It's like Henry Golding, might be.
That sounds right.
It sounds right. It might be him. He was cool. I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
But it was definitely like the crazy mother-in-law thing. But also at the same time, it's like the Chinese whole heritage. So it's like
because they're
their view and everything like that. And she's Chinese American, so she's like
a pretty strict culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was really gorgeous, like film wise, like so many good scenes and everything. And it was really funny. They had regular like pop songs, but in like Mandarin. And,
I love when movies do that.
Yes, they had like Yellow by Coldplay, and I recognized it by the background music, and I was like, oh my god, I know this one. But that was such a cute movie, and I was always like, why do people watch this on an airplane all the time? And then like the end is like, I think they like get proposed or something on the airplane. I was like, oh.
There you go.
Is that why? Okay. Like, alright.
That's funny.
I watched that. I wrote it down somewhere. What did I do? Past Lives.
Oh, I've been wanting to see that.
That's good.
It looks good.
You gotta read, definitely.
I mean, yeah.
But it was so good.
Is that A24?
It is.
Okay.
I love A24. I think they're real good.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Talk to Me from them. Not this summer.
That was
but
the one with the hand, right?
Yeah.
That looked creepy.
It's creepy. It's so creepy. I took a horror movie class this past semester, and oh my god, I love my professor so much. I'm taking another one of his classes,
Nice.
the Art of Film, this semester.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's a fun list of a whole bunch of movies we get to talk about. Dude, I'm so excited. We get to talk about Saltburn.
Oh
my god. One of my favorite movies. I literally watched it today, this morning.
You watched Saltburn?
Yes, I
again?
did. This morning. It was like the third time I've seen this. And I found a Funko Pop of Oliver at Barnes & Noble, and I got it.
Little freak. You know what he'd do if he found a Funko Pop like that?
I don't want to know.
He'd put it in a jar. And I'm not going to say what else.
Put it in a jar. Oh my gosh. But, anyway, yeah. And we're also in this Art of Film class, we're going to talk about past lives. And I didn't even see that until, like, I watched the movie. I was like, okay, great. Now I already get that. But it's such a cute, like, right person, wrong time movie. Which those are always the hardest movies in the world.
Ugh.
Always tug at me. But they're the cutest. It was so good. Yeah, but definitely a lot of Korean there.
Yeah.
I was on the plane and I would just look away for 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing with those. You have to be focused.
Right.
I watched one movie, what was it? Chungking Express. It's like a Hong Kong movie, I want to say. It was for my school film club. And it's like a romance, but like also like it's like 3 mini stories.
Gotcha.
In one movie.
Yeah.
I really wanted to like it. I'm sure I would like it if I watched it again. But I just wasn't feeling it at the time.
Yeah.
I was watching it because I had to, because film club was the next day and I'd procrastinated.
Right.
But it was like, even though I wasn't feeling it at the time, the vibes were nice. And
yeah. This one was really, really simple, and I love a good just like plain movie that just like nothing barely happens.
Yeah.
It had like the fun flashbacks at the beginning, like everything. Like they knew each other because this girl used to live in Korea, and they liked each other, and they went on one date, and then she told him that she's immigrating.
Dang.
And then they like reconnect through like Facebook, like 10 years, and then they talk, and then she's like, I think we need a break, and he's like,
what the heck?
I know, it's like I don't even think she had a reason. Oh, well, she did, but it was like she just needed a break from like they've been talking for like months just through Skype, and he wasn't making an effort to see her. She had work, so she couldn't go see him. So it was like that whole thing.
Yeah, no, long distance. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, especially like if someone in Korea to America.
Especially like the international long distance is absurd.
But and then it's like another 12 years later, and she's married and in New York and whatever, and then he wanted to come visit her, and it's just like the rest of the movie is like one day they hang out, or kind of 2 days that they're together, and it's just like the struggle of them trying to figure things out.
Yeah, it
was really cute, but definitely like heartfelt and everything like that. I love it.
Has a little kick to it.
Oh yeah, and everyone was like talking about how so sad it was. I wasn't like sad, but I was like, oh, okay, next movie. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, shucks.
Right.
All right, let's.
Oh well. Then I watched Harry Potter right after it.
Oh,
I was
which
like, there
one?
we go. Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, because that was the only ones they had on the airplane. But then
I need to do a Harry Potter rewatch one of these days.
Me too, and I was trying to. I watched the first one like weeks ago, and then I went straight to Deathly Hallows. I was like, I'll just skip everything else.
Beginning and the end. You know, you don't really need all that filler anyway.
Nah. They age like 10 years. Nothing happens. But I watched those because oh my god, dude, my flight back from Italy was insane.
Oh, really?
It was 10 hours from Rome to Chicago.
Man.
And then an hour and a half back to New York. And I watched a movie called Leap Year on the flight back to New York, and it's a cheesy rom-com. It was just nothing. It's Amy Adams, and she's what was she doing? She wants to propose to her boyfriend on leap year because it's like Scottish tradition, like the woman can propose on leap year.
Okay.
And her boyfriend's an asshole.
Is he?
Andrew Scott. Like, always. And he has to, like, fly to Scotland for work. And so she's like, you know what? I'm gonna meet you there and I'm gonna propose to you. And her plan just goes terribly.
Oh.
And it's like the whole, like, she's trying to get to him by leap year. And, like, this guy at this pub helps her go. And, you know, obviously they fall in love. And it was so cute. I thought it was adorable. And I love a
bunch of silly
random,
rom-com shenanigans.
Yeah, just, you know, the one bed trope, that whole thing. So there was that. Enemies to lovers. Love a good enemies to lovers. So it was what am I saying? It was real fun. Anyway. But, yeah, I watched a lot of random movies this summer.
Yeah. I mean, talking about rewatches, the last day of so you haven't started school up yet, so you're still in summer.
Friday.
Very
excited.
Today was my first day of school, unfortunately, but yesterday, my last day of summer, I spent 6 hours doing a back to back Back to the Future trilogy rewatch.
What?
And it was my first time ever doing that. I'd never watched more than one in one sitting. But I just decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch all 3 Back to the Futures.
Wow.
And they're so... the first one's one of my favorite movies ever. I've watched it so many times.
Really?
It's so perfect. The second
I haven't seen them in, like, years.
Yeah. The second one's, like, really chaotic. And crazy.
It stresses me out.
And weird.
Yeah.
But, like... It's really fun. You can't not have fun, I think.
Right.
And then the third one is, like, so simple compared to the second one. It's basically the first one, but in the Wild West.
Right.
And I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's unironically one of my favorite Westerns.
Oh, yes.
Like, and Doc is, like, now getting almost as much screen time as Marty is. And it's just such a good trilogy. People hate on the third one sometimes. I love it.
I liked it.
And you watch them all back to back, and it's so fun. It's just a fun series of movies.
I didn't watch them, like, back to back, but I watched them, like, kind of back to back, like one night and one the next night and one the last night. Yeah.
I definitely have done that. But, yeah. I mean, and it's funny, too, because the second and third ones were filmed back to back.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Because they have a whole montage at the end of part 2.
Right.
Of, like, next time on Back to the Future, like some old show.
I forgot about that. Man, it's literally been, like, forever since I've seen those. I saw them, like, in middle school, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the first time for me watching the third one since I was, like, a kid.
Oh, wow.
Which, like, it's got to be at least or almost 10 years. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of rom-coms, I watched Not Another Teen Movie. Have you heard of that?
I have. Isn't Chris Evans in that?
Chris Evans is the main guy. I have not
seen that.
I mean, obviously, it's a total send-up of, like, 2000s rom-coms. It's so funny.
Really?
It's, like, it totally... It's, like, 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That, and it makes fun of American Beauty for some reason, or parodies it.
Yeah.
Even though that's, like, not at all a rom-com. And it just does all the, like, stupid tropes.
Yeah.
But all this funny whatever happens.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can tell they actually like rom-coms.
Yeah. Isn't, like, I could be so wrong. Isn't, like, American Pie kind of like that? I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay.
It's one of my friend's favorite movies.
My friend, she loves it, too. She made me start it, and it was kind of, like, more in the background movie when we were hanging out. And... she says that movie reminds her of me because one of the characters is always like, this one time at band camp, and I'm like, I don't say that, but okay. She's like, but you were in band camp, and I was like, yeah.
Okay, but
I don't go around saying
that's
this
such
one
an
time.
attack.
Oh my gosh, I know. Especially like because those are like the band kids who are always like, you remember this one time at band camp, and I'm like, yeah, I was there, dude.
Remember at band camp?
Oh my god.
Going to band camp?
Done with band camp. My school just finished their band camp, and my best friend, he's like, they're the woodwind captain, whatever, and he's like, I'm done. He's like, I'm quitting, and I was just like, yeah. I was like, that's why I'm not doing it anymore.
I feel like every band kid who's not a band kid has had like at least one I'm quitting. It's
Yo,
done. It's over. I'm done.
I had at least 20.
Yeah.
Like, with COVID and everything, I almost quit with that. My junior year marching band show was just terrible. I almost quit from that. And my band director is just a complete asshole.
Ugh.
And I hate him so much. I genuinely cannot
Really?
stand him. It's
He's
really
just
funny,
mean,
too, because
or?
no, he's not mean. He just doesn't know how to teach. And doesn't know how to talk to students without acting like we're adults. You know, it's like he talks to us like we're his equals, and like.
And it's like you get the well, what am I saying? He's like, I'm treating you like equals. I'm talking to you like adults, but you're not adults yet. Is the thing.
Like
so don't.
Yeah.
Like we are still children.
Right. Like some of us are freshly 18, so still no.
And so like be a little gentle,
and,
please.
Like, he didn't know how to do his job. I had to put him in his place. I had to put him in his place.
That's
at the
crazy.
Time. I was woodwind captain, and he was doing stuff wrong. So I looked at him. I was like, okay, no. I was like, we did this like last year, so we gotta do it like this. And like he was like not listening to me. And I was like, whatever, dude. If you're not gonna listen to anybody, I don't care. And yeah, it was real fun. And he, like, I yelled at him so many times, and even though I thought he hated me, I won like Director's Choice Award at the end of the year. And he was like, he was giving this whole speech being like, she's the one who like, you know, pushed me to do my best. And I was like,
you got guts, kid.
I was like, what? He's like one of my favorites, and I'm like, what? I was like, okay.
It's like, have you
don't
seen,
feel the same.
You haven't seen Ted, have you?
I want to badly.
There's this scene where he's like trying to get fired from his job,
right?
And like he's caught screwing a coworker in the freezer.
I've seen that.
He's like you're screwing her in the freezer. That took guts. We need someone like you around here. That's what that makes me think of.
I saw the one clip. This one clip was an Instagram reel. It was like when that time of night when the sleepover gets weird with your friend, and it's like the guy who dresses up at a teddy bear, and he's like, "Hello, Ted," and he's like, "Oh," and I'm like,
"No, the show is so good."
I heard.
Like the movies, they're not good movies, but they're so funny. The show is actually insanely good.
I heard that the show wasn't good, but it still looked funny.
It's so the show's awesome.
I do need to watch those stuff, but I sent that to Ellie, that Instagram reel, and we laughed about it for like 30 minutes because it was like middle of the night. We're delirious. We were like, "This is the
everything's
funny
in the middle of the night too."
Yeah.
So
it was so bad.
Yeah, the middle of the night is like peak time to watch. Ted.
Oh yeah, definitely. Most stuff I watched is like shows.
Yeah.
I watched 2 different reality TV shows this summer.
Which ones?
Love Island and The Bachelorette.
How are those?
The Love Island is interesting.
Is it now?
I watched, I think, maybe 5 episodes, and there's 30. And I was like, I can't do that.
30 total?
Yeah, in a season.
In a season, I was gonna say.
Because
how many seasons have there been?
Oh God.
A lot.
A lot, because it was mainly like UK or Australia who did it first, and then the US started doing it.
There are a lot of reality shows like that, like Dating on the Spectrum.
Yeah, but I'm watching The Bachelorette, and I am hooked. I am like, if she doesn't end up with this guy, I'm never gonna watch this show again.
Really?
Like,
I've heard like people who like disparage it at first, they get into it, and
I used to hate that stuff. And then I watched The Bachelor last year, like this past one that just happened.
Oh,
but I watched it late. Like, I got into it like second or third last episode, and I was like, this girl needs to win, and she didn't, and I was like,
oh.
But then now I'm totally fine because the girl he did pick is like the best, and they're so cute together. So I'm like, okay, fine, that's fine.
No, I've met guys who started watching the show so they had something to talk about with girls. But they got really into the show, and
I don't even know that many girls who watch this stuff. I gotta be so honest. Like in person, like I think I only know.
And they would have conversations with girls about The Bachelor, but you could tell they were like actually into it too.
That's so funny. I watched like the opening night episode of The Bachelorette, and like you meet all 25 guys, and I'm like, all right, you're staying, you're leaving tonight, and all that stuff like that. And my dad looked at me, he's like, you've never even seen this stuff before. I was like, no, but I'm hooked. I was like, I love it so much. And then my dad was like, this show's stupid. I got him in it last week. He loves
Really?
this thing. He's been watching every episode every week, and he's always been like, this stuff's so dumb. And then like 2 weeks ago, he's like, all right, who's in? And I'm like, what did you just say last week? I was like, literally, what did I tell you? I was like, it's hooking. And because there's so much drama. It's so stupid drama, but it's the funniest thing ever.
No, I'd love to get into one of those.
Oh my god, dude, I'm just literally gonna say this one thing because it blew my mind. There's this one guy who is such a douche. He's like a Chad. He's like one of those like, he was blonde, he was like buff and all the things. He thought he was all that, and he had like catchphrases. He only ever said like the same few things. He always said you got to keep the main thing, and he always kept calling this one guy a bully, even though he didn't do anything. He just was having attitude. He was also kind of an asshole, but still, he's somehow almost winning. That guy I don't even like, but whatever. But this dude, they're on a radio show, and so the Bachelorette girl, she's like, what were your first impressions of me? And he's like, well, I came into it like, well, all right, whatever. She's not my type, and because this girl's Asian, and so he's like, whatever, she's not my type, but I guess she's pretty. And I'm like, you're saying it just like this, and he goes, I kind of thought it was going to be like Daisy or Maria, who were girls from the past Bachelor season and could have been this next Bachelorette. He's like, I was expecting them to, and so she's like,
hello?
She's
so
like,
she was there hearing all this.
Right. She asked him this question. They're sitting in person at a radio show, and there's 4 other guys in a different room. We don't know. And there's 4 of the other guys just in another room, and they're listening in, and they're like, is he psycho? Like, what is this? And then, like, later in the episode, she's like, I need you to tell me, like, why you're here, and why do you want to be with me?
The zip line.
And, yes. Oh, I love that thing. And he was just like, because I love you. And, like, he love-bombed her. And it was the first time. She's like, no, you don't. Nah. She's like, no, you don't. Why are you here? Why are you here? And he couldn't answer, so she sent him home. I was like, as you should. I was like, this guy is such an idiot. And it's almost done, and there's like the final 3 guys, and
so this is the current season.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's a new episode every Monday. And oh my god, I'm already feeling so bad because one of them is a Pete Davidson lookalike and kind of an asshole, but he's really sweet to her, but like rude to everybody else, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
And then this other guy has really bad allegations against him right now. Like, he abused a girl, his past relationship. So we're like, Jen, I swear to God, if you pick him, we're gonna lose it. And then the other guy's just like, you have to pick him. Like, he's the perfect guy. And like, she's not even leaning towards him. She's leaning towards the Pete Davidson. And I'm like,
wow.
I'm losing it, and I'm like the only one in my friend group who watches it, but everybody else's watches Love Island. And I tried getting into that for them, and I was like, I can't, guys. I was like, this is so bad. And they're like, but you're watching The Bachelorette. And I was like, that's not the same thing at all. It is different. Everybody on Love Island is just wearing bikinis 24/7 and yelling at each other for no reason.
Maybe I should watch Love Island.
It's real fun. Love Island's not fun at all. I didn't like it. But they had the reunion episode last night.
Really? What was that? Like, first...
I don't know, but they just all, like, came together and just talked about everything that happened.
Oh, okay.
And, like, the ending couples kind of talked, like, if they're still together, and one of them who, like, stuck throughout the entire summer are done. They were yelling at each other the whole time, and we're like, thank God. We hated y'all.
That's really funny.
It's so fun. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch any other reality TV shows, but The Bachelor and Bachelorette are probably the ones I stick with.
They're gonna...
You should get into it. Just like your friends. They're fun.
I don't think I can afford more evidence for the opposing testimony.
Okay. Sure.
So, have you had any, like, big favorite movies, or just movies you really liked?
Twisters.
Love
Twisters.
Course.
I didn't have a lot of newer stuff I watched that I really, really liked.
I had a lot of rewatches this summer.
Me too. I did a lot of, oh my god, what did I do? I did a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. Because I just love him. What's your favorite,
or what are, I know it's hard to pick one.
I can't pick one.
Yeah.
I watched Dark Knight on the plane to Italy.
Nice.
So that was good. I watched Inception with Ellie and Edith Ann. It was their first time watching it. Oh, that's a good one. I haven't
seen it in a minute. It's so good, though.
It's so good. I want to rewatch Interstellar. I haven't seen that in a hot second.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think I have like a favorite because they're all just so good. But the one I watched the most is Dark Knight. Definitely.
It's definitely my most watched Christopher Nolan.
That and definitely like oh no, yeah, it's definitely Dark Knight. I thought there was gonna be a second,
but no,
it's just Dark Knight.
No, I do need to watch Memento soon.
I haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah.
I need to.
I mean, apparently my film class is gonna talk about it this year, so I kind of feel like I should.
Yeah. I talked about how I like Christopher Nolan and like my social issues in film class my fall semester. And this is the same film professor I've had twice now and I'm about to have again. And he was like, I don't like Christopher Nolan. Oh. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, I could slap you right now. I was like, how could you? I was like, I thought I'd like you. Just like a knife in the heart. I literally was. And I was like, this is terrible. And then he's like, I like Damien Chazelle more. I was like, okay, you're saved. You're saved. But still, I was You're on like, thin ice, buckaroo. I know, for real. But he got real saved because he loves The Last of Us. So I'm like, you're fine. You're my favorite. Thank you. That's all redeemed. Redeemed. But there was, I still want to watch Tenet. Even though I heard a lot of... I liked it. You haven't seen it? Oh, wait, you have seen it. Sorry.
Yeah. I saw it when it came out.
Really?
Yeah, my brother complained about, like, not being able to hear anything. And the sound mixing is, like, the big thing people complain about with that movie. But I think it's fine. And it's like, it's a cool, kind of confusing movie.
I like Dunkirk a lot, too.
Haven't seen it.
Really? Harry Styles is in it.
You say that like it's a selling point for me.
That's what it was. When it came out, I remember everybody freaking out. Harry Styles is in a movie! Harry Styles is... Oh my god.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was in it.
He's not the main character, but he's a good side character. Yeah. Like, he's big-ish. Because there's a lot of different characters. Like, it follows 3 different categories of the army during, it's D-Day, right? I think that's...
No, it's Dunkirk. It's the invasion of Dunkirk.
Oh my god. Forget that I just said that.
Clip it.
Anyway, it is Dunkirk. But it follows, like, the people on the land happening, and then there's the fighting on the sea and the fighting in the air and stuff like that. And like there's Cillian Murphy, and he's got a whole thing with like the sea, like they pick him up because like he crashed or something in this random boat. It's gonna help like pick the guys up, and it's got like Barry Keoghan and this one guy who's in House of the Dragon, I can't remember, and Tom Hardy's in the plane, so that was really fun. Christopher Nolan uses all the same actors, and I love it, honestly.
He just has his, like, his favorites, or maybe they're his friends, I don't know.
Right. He's got Kenneth Branagh, is that how you say his last name?
Branagh,
that's what it is. He's got, like, a really small thing, kind of like Oppenheimer, where he's there for, like, 1 minute.
I think he's the villain in Tenet.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. Yeah, but Dunkirk's really good. I haven't seen it in a good minute, though. I still need to watch Oppenheimer again, just for no reason. I loved that movie.
Oppenheimer's great.
That was so good. I remember doing the Barbenheimer day. That was... I was so tired after
Such a double feature. That's...
Yeah, for real.
Like, we... and the fact that, like, some companies have tried to, like, push new...
Like, Lively is trying to push for the Barbenheimer thing for
Deadpool
and Deadpool.
Of course
she's like, see my movie, then go see my husband.
It's not the same when you try to force it, though. It was a happy little accident. It happened once. It's probably never going to happen again.
It was about to happen again with Wicked and Gladiator 2.
Oh, really?
Wicked changed the date.
I feel like it wouldn't be the same still.
No, definitely not.
Wicked's not going to have the same turnout Barbie did.
You'd be surprised.
You think so?
A lot of my theater friends are freaking out.
Okay, yeah, I know Wicked's a big deal. People love Wicked.
Ellie started crying when she saw the trailer in theaters. Like we've seen this trailer 1,000 times.
But I do know people who have seen Wicked, like on Broadway and stuff. Yeah. And they don't think it looks good.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, because that's like in-person stuff. So like with this movie and it being like visual effects and everything like that in different settings, I think that could be a whole different thing.
Yeah. And it is the first part, like the second one's coming out next year.
I think so. I'm not sure when it comes out.
Yeah.
But I know it is part 1. But yeah, that was, like I said, it was supposed to come out the same day as Gladiator 2, and everyone, I was seeing the memes like, this is for the girls. This is for the girls.
I know, I think some company was trying to do... it was Paw Patrol and something else coming out on the same day.
Hilarious.
And it was Paw Patrol and Saw. Paramount was trying to push Saw Patrol.
What? Oh my
but
God.
It didn't catch on, obviously.
Obviously not. No, the newest Saw?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've seen that. That's
Well, I've heard it's good.
real.
You weren't a fan?
I was in the middle. I can't remember. I talked about it in my horror film class because we had
Did
to
you
watch
see
it.
the first one? With Carrie Elwes is in it.
Really?
Yeah. So I always forget it's
Yeah.
Wesley when I see him without the mustache.
Right. We had to, like, he was like, yeah, we're just gonna watch this, and I was like, do I need to watch, like, the first few? And he's like, I mean, do you want to? And I'm like, no, there's 10 movies.
It is the 10th one.
I was like, this is 10th movie. He goes, I mean, you do whatever you want. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm going in blind. Which, like, you really didn't need to know anything because this felt like one of the prequel ones.
No, it takes place between 1 and 2.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Because he's like trying to figure out his cancer thing or whatever. That was really interesting. It was. That's why I kind of did like it because
people have said it's the best one since the first one.
Really,
and I liked the first one.
I need to watch that one. But I heard it like the second until the newest one just weren't that good. So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna put in like how many ever hours that is to watch all of these.
They're not long movies.
No, they're not, and that's why I did like this newest one because it felt really short, but it was so gruesome. It was. Like,
I mean, it's Saw.
I know. But it was like, I'd never seen anything like that before. So I was sitting there and I was like, oh, okay. This one girl had to, like, saw her own leg off. I was like, that's really fun. A guy had to dig his brain out.
Oh. Yeah,
that made no sense to me at all.
The movies are just full of, like, that body horror. The signature one is, was there a reverse bear trap in the movie? The thing around the head?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like, it brings their jaw and just...
Yeah.
It's like the signature
I think that's one
Saw
that
trap.
was one of them there.
Yeah. They just got all sorts of crazy, just body horror.
Yeah, it was real fun.
Crap.
I was like, yeah.
Fun for the whole family.
I was sitting there with my laptop and, like, my roommate's right in her bed next to me. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, she'll look over and she's like, what are you watching? I'm like, it's for the horror film movie class. And she's like, kind of glad I didn't take it. Because she took the social issues and film with me, and she loved the professor as much as I did. And so she's like, I almost want to take the horror, but, like, I don't have the space. So I was like, just watch all the horror movies with me. She's like, okay. And then she did.
She did?
No, she didn't.
Oh,
She saw my list, and she looked at me, she goes,
no,
I'm not doing that. And I was like, that's fine. My breaker was Exorcist Believer.
I've heard that sucked.
It was terrible. It was awful.
The guy was supposed to get a whole trilogy of Exorcist movies, but that one did so bad, like, he's not getting it anymore.
It was so bad. I don't like exorcism stuff, so already
the first one's really good.
Really?
I love it.
These are fine, but just, like, it's the makeup and stuff that's just so... Not like it's gross, it's just weird to me.
Yeah, no, it's freaky.
Like, but this one also, like, it looked fake. So, like, it looked both fake and just terrifying, and that's what I hated most about it. And, like, Leslie Odom Jr. was in it, and I was like, what are you doing here, dude? Like, this is really random, and just the kids were so annoying.
I'm so sorry. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. I watched a few things I've been meaning to watch, like, for ages. I watched Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It's an old... Let's see, it came out in 1939.
Okay.
It's with James Stewart, which, have you seen It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he's really good. He's this lawyer guy.
Okay.
He becomes a senator.
Yeah.
And he's just a very good person, and he goes to Congress where everyone else is not.
Right.
And it's, like, so ahead of its time, because this is a 1939 movie.
Yeah.
It's, like, a biting criticism of the U.S. government.
Love that.
And they did all this filming, like, on location in D.C., like, with all these monuments and stuff.
Yeah.
And they didn't get permission from, like, permission to be able to film at any of these places because of the subject matter.
Right.
So they just went and filmed it, like, illegally.
That's so funny.
But it's such a good... It's crazy because, so the American government was critiquing it because it's, like, it shows the government in too bad a light. But then communist governments are like banning the movie because it shows how democracy works.
Oh.
So, like,
wow.
Does it show how it doesn't work? Or does it show how it works? But it's very. I mean, it's kind of sappy, but it's very real in other ways. But I liked it a lot.
I've been meaning to watch like older movies, and like one of my sorority sisters, she like loves like Alfred Hitchcock movies. Those are her favorite things.
I've seen a few. I need to watch more.
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any old.
Psycho is amazing.
I want to watch that. The only like older movie I've seen is like It's a Wonderful Life, and that's like my favorite Christmas movie.
It's a masterpiece.
Love it. I need to. Yeah, I need to watch more things like that older black and white stuff.
Yeah, also black and white. I watched Casablanca finally, which is like it's one of those like great American classics you always hear about.
I've seen Gone with the Wind, and that was like the only one.
I've not seen Gone with the Wind yet. I need to set aside 4 hours.
Right. I watched it when I was sick in like 2018. I think it was. Yeah. It was cute. I liked it.
Was it?
Yeah, it was my mom's favorite growing up, so she was like, you have to watch this. Sit down, watch this. She's like, you're sick, you're doing nothing all day, here's a 4-hour movie. And I was like, perfect.
Yeah, now you gotta read the book. That's like
oh my god, we have it. And I'm like, no thank you.
So, we were talking about, I wanted to bring this up earlier, I totally forgot. So we were talking about Ayo
Edebiri.
Yeah. Because I liked her in The Bear, I decided to watch Bottoms.
I love Bottoms so much.
It's so funny.
That's one of my favorite movies. Oh my god, that's so good. What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah,
it was so funny. Oh my gosh,
dude, what is the character's name? Jeff.
Which one was Jeff? Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff was the main best thing.
He was the guy from Red, White, and Royal Blue, right?
He was. Have you seen that?
I've not.
It's fun. It's fun. I read the book forever ago, so then when I heard the movie was coming out, I had to watch it, and now there's a second one coming out.
I saw that.
Where there's not even a second book, so I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is this?
It's uncharted territory.
I know, so now I'm literally going in blind, so that should be fun, but... No, I thought he was perfect. I love that actor. He's in so many...
He was really fun.
He's in so many good things.
Is he?
He's in, well, I saw him in some sort of rom-com, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but then I saw another rom-com he's in, called Purple Hearts. It's on Netflix, and he plays this wounded soldier, and... So he and this girl, like, got fake married so she can get all the military bonuses, like, healthcare, and a lot of things, and, so then he gets hurt, and so they're like, all right, here, go back to your wife, and she's going to take care of you. She's like, what? She's like, no, I don't even know this guy. And it's just their whole journey, and it's really cute. But
sounds cute.
What is it? It's Sophia Carson, if you know her. She's a Disney Channel actress.
Okay.
So that's why it's like, it's fine. But no, she's like one of the good ones, though, because she was Evie in Descendants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She just god awful at singing. I hate her singing so much. Oh my god, do you remember when it was really popular to do like that weird cursive singing thing? Like you sing with a weird twang in your voice?
I think so.
Yeah, that's just her.
You want to do a demonstration?
No, thank you. It's just her constantly. And like in the movie, she's like trying to be an like she's trying to be a singer. And she has a band. And so she's singing the whole movie, and I'm like, just
stop,
please,
for the sake of my ears.
But he was cool. I liked him, but oh my god, I loved him in Bottoms, and Io was amazing.
No, there was so much I loved about Bottoms. Like it was probably the most Gen Z movie I've seen in the best way possible.
So good, and they did it so well. I loved the teacher. I can't remember what that.
Oh, it was he used to play football.
I know. I can't remember his name.
Shoot.
Oh. He was so funny though.
He was one of my favorite parts of that movie. I'm gonna be so mad.
No, I am too.
In just a second. Marshawn Lynch.
That's it.
Yeah, Mr. G.
He was so bad. I love that. My one of my friends did a presentation on it in like our film class, and I was like, okay, well now I have to watch it, and then like never did. And then, like, later, like, the next semester, like, it came up on my, like, Instagram. I was like, oh, well, now we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I was laughing the whole time. I was like, this is so funny.
Yeah, I'd been meaning to watch it forever.
I was like, this is literally giving kind of, like Gen Z, but also, like, small bits of, like, 2000 rom-com.
Oh,
like,
totally.
In the back, and I love that
in the best way
so
possible.
Much. Exactly. There's so many good quotes. Oh, my God. I loved it when, like... when the girlfriend was confronting Jeff, she's like, I heard you're, like, having an affair or whatever, and then, like, he's like, no, I'm not, and then the girl's, like, was like, you're over at my house, and he's like, shut up, nerd, I fucked your mom, and I'm like, oh my God. And the whole car scene where they roll over his foot, I remember seeing that all over TikTok. I quote it. I could literally, I knew every word. Now I don't.
Word for word, bar for bar.
I did for a second, but now I don't. And I just loved it. And I tried showing the movie to Ellie, and she was like, that looks stupid. And I'm like, no!
Yes, it's stupid, but it's
supposed to be. Oh,
like, could the two, what was it, could the two ugly, gay lesbians or
something like that.
Something.
Ugly, like, lesbian nerds or something.
Yeah.
Come to the principal's office. I think he's talking about us.
Yeah, that was one of the better comedies I saw.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like, so, I've started making, like, a list of, like, high school movies or high school or coming-of-age movies that I feel like I need to see before I graduate.
Yeah.
And I've started knocking a couple off.
Was Bottoms on there?
Bottoms was not on there.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, that's interesting.
I think it would have been if I'd made the list before I watched it.
Okay.
But I did just watch Heathers, which was towards the top of that list. Loved it so much.
Nice.
It was like Mean Girls with murder. Like,
really? I have no idea.
You
I have
haven't
no
seen
idea.
it?
No, I've never seen it.
Do you know what it is?
No, I mean, I know it's a musical.
I mean, there's a musical of it.
Oh,
but the original.
I remember, yeah.
It's like 80s, 90s movie.
Yeah, and Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Love her.
She's like 17 or 18. I think she's pretty fresh off Beetlejuice at that point. So she's like fairly big, probably. I don't know. But yeah, it's like Mean Girls with murder.
Nice.
And it's such a funny movie as well.
Right.
And they're in a like dark way.
Yeah.
And there's all this talk about like teen suicide and stuff. Like
Nice.
the whole thing is they're murdering people and making it look like they kill themselves.
Oh, okay.
And teen suicide is like so talked about in this movie. And as funny as the movie is, though, it doesn't make teen suicide itself into a joke.
Yeah.
Which I very much like appreciated.
Right.
I think that was important. And obviously it's a touchy subject.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
really
tricky
hard.
to
make jokes about it.
Yeah, but it's so well written.
That's good. I watched A Simple Favor a while ago, which, have you seen Gone Girl?
No, not yet.
Oh, that one's good.
Speaking of Ben Affleck.
Yeah, for real. It is, but it is, like, literally the exact same movie as A Simple Favor, but, like, Gone Girl came first. And it's worse than Gone Girl. And it's Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick.
Oh.
Which was fine, but it was just, like...
Why?
It was like in the middle. It literally was like a why. Like this thing just came out. Like Gone Girl came out a few years before this, and it's the exact same thing. It's like she goes missing, and like Anna Kendrick has like figure out the whole thing. I don't know. It was really stupid. Blake Lively's character was really complicated. I literally only watched it for her because I was in love with her. Now I'm not. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna be like that, fine. But I mean. Will not watch again. I was bored. I was like, okay, fine. But Gone Girl's really good.
I know.
That one's so good.
I gotta see it. That's is that David Fincher that directed it?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember. What else has he done?
Social Network,
That's
Fight
right.
Club.
That's my film professor's favorite director besides Damien Chazelle. And I was like, okay.
He's a good one. He's a good one. What have I maybe I've just seen Social Network and Fight Club.
I need to watch Social Network. I haven't seen that yet.
So it's funny. I watched The Social Network a few days before I watched Oppenheimer.
Really?
Or maybe a few days after. I can't remember. But I was struck by like how similar the two were between like the structure.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is like a legal thing, them kind of interrogating this guy.
Right.
Who's a real individual, and I mean they're both amazing. I do think It's hard to say which one's better.
Okay.
Because they're both awesome.
Right. I love Andrew Garfield, so I do need to watch that.
Yes, Garfield's great in it.
I remember seeing just like that one clip where he just smashes the laptop like everywhere, and I was like, need to watch it. Never did. But that's cool though. That's like Oppenheimer layout. That was such a good layout. I will always talk about how I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember in my film class, this one guy, hated him so much, did a project on Oppenheimer, so I was like, why did he have to do that? It's such a good movie, but whatever. And I remember my professor being like, does anyone know why there was that unnecessary sex scene in that office? Like, what was that? And I was like, does anybody else like not know? Like it was really obvious. It's like the wife was like imagining, like, yeah, like that's all it was. And literally the whole room was like, oh, and I'm like, what? I was like, it was so obvious. This white, it pans to her after you see it.
So I am sometimes just, I am baffled by how little people actually understand. Not to be all, I'm such an intellectual.
No, right, and that's not, like, that's why I was
sometimes I feel like I am. Like, I am better. I'm smarter.
Right, and I literally was like, I don't know how to read films that much, and this professor literally is teaching classes on how you're supposed to read films, and he didn't even get that, but I did. I was like, this makes no sense right now.
He feels naked. That's right. It's pretty easy to
like that, and then it's also
and the wife
imagining and everything, and everybody was like, oh, and I'm like, what? Okay, like, fine. But yeah, I want to watch that again, especially in theaters. Oh my god, that was such a
what
good
an
thing.
Experience.
With all the surround sound.
I would have.
Oh my god! Also, like surround sound in the theaters. I need to see Top Gun Maverick again in theaters. My favorite movie right now. I love that movie so much.
I love Maverick.
It's so good. I watched that on the plane to Italy too. It was the first movie I picked, and I was like, oh my god!
It's a good plane movie.
It is a good plane movie. I watched that movie so much, like all the time. I lost count of how many times I've seen that movie. It's genuinely like one of my comfort ones.
I know. I get it completely.
I love it. Like I think I've only seen the first one like maybe like 2 or 3 times.
I've only seen it. I only saw it the one time, and that was so I could go see Maverick.
Yeah, I watched it like growing up, and then heard Maverick was coming out, so then watched it again just to refresh.
And like the first one's all right. It's got like an 80s charm. To it.
It's good, but then like Top Gun Maverick, it's just so beyond.
Awesome. Yes.
It's like insane, and I'm so excited because that same director is going to make the F1 movie. I'm not okay, truly.
Yeah.
The teaser trailer came out, and it had "We Will Rock You" Queen.
I still don't know if I've seen the trailer.
It's a quick 1 minute. You're gonna have to watch it later. But it's Brad Pitt, and the thing is, there's a lot of opinions on this movie. Like it's in the F1 community.
Okay.
Because it's all fake, all fiction.
Okay.
It's a fake character, Brad Pitt and his teammate, and it's just additional team to real life F1.
And people are saying like, why didn't they just tell a true story?
Well, no, it's just like how are you supposed to do that? You know, like F1 is specifically for the 20 best athletes in the world to be doing this. It's like they're literally like there's only 20 people in the world who can do this, and then also those in the past. Like, and then it's just like this additional team, which they're already like.
I mean, it's not that hard to imagine.
That's what I'm saying.
Like hypothetically, if this guy existed, he would be in.
Right, and now so what if there's another team? Like, literally in 2026, Audi is going to become a new team. And I'm like, that's just an extra team. Like, it's the same thing, guys. I was like, what is happening? But it's literally just an F1 season and this team trying to be the best, and they're kind of like in the middle, and it's really funny though being an F1 fan and seeing this.
I'm sure
there were so many cameos just in this quick teaser, and I was losing it. I was screaming. Like there is like literally opening scene. He's like talking about the teams and how good they are, and I'm like, yep, I know that team. I know that. It's like crazy how that's a thing. And
like
there's
Leo DiCaprio, like, whoa.
Right. Yep. There you go. And he wants to. It's Brad Pitt. He is the driver for this team. I think it's called like Apex, which is a really interesting name, but whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like this old retired driver, and he's coming back into F1, and he wants to make it good. He's now a racer, but the thing is, he's racing with this brand new teammate. And so it's them clashing the whole movie, and it's also them trying to get the best. So it's just like... And then also just everybody else in F1 is just in the background, and I'm like... Okay. I was like, okay, cool. Looks cool, and it's going to be directed by a Top Gun Maverick guy. It's composed by Hans Zimmer. So I was like, this is my
it's got all
movie.
all the ingredients.
Exactly. And in the teaser, you can see some of the drivers. I remember last year, which was so funny to me, that I've been a fan of F1 for only a year. It feels like forever for some reason. And there was when they were in, I think, the Great Britain race, they were filming for this movie, and so they have real life cars for this movie, and they pretended like they were just walking across the track, whatever, just those two, and one of the Ferrari drivers, Carlos Sainz, just like kind of like walks right beside him just so he can get in the shot, and he was like, I wasn't supposed to, but I just wanted to.
That's funny.
And I'm like, can't wait to see it.
He's so real.
I know. And there was one shot of this old team principal who's retired now, like he got fired, and now he's working for something else, but you see him, and I remember seeing all the memes and everybody going crazy, losing it for this guy.
There he is.
You're like, oh my god,
he's back.
And I showed the trailer to Dad, and he's like, it's my guy. And I'm like, literally told you. I was like, this is gonna be so good. But that's coming out like next summer, and I'm like,
exciting.
I'm counting on the days. I know it's gonna be a good summer movie.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick was a good summer movie. Ugh, perfect. Oh my gosh, but
man.
Next year's gonna be crazy with movies.
It is.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited because F1, Superman, Fantastic
Superman. Oh my god.
No,
Avatar.
Avatar. Is that summer?
December.
December.
But I was talking just mainly
but
for
still,
a year.
just
but
2025. Yeah.
And then the Marvel movie stuff, like the Captain America.
Captain America.
We'll see. Else. I know the Agatha show.
Is that this year? I thought.
No. Is it this year?
I feel like it is.
Oh, I thought it was next year. Oh, it could be. I think it might be this year. That would make more sense. But I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, no, next year, 2024 has, for the most part, been kind of a filler year.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course, there's been stuff like Deadpool,
right?
Furiosa.
Right, but like last year had so many good things, and then this year's kind of like maybe one or two.
Yeah, I mean, because all the strikes finally caught up to us.
I know. Yeah.
And,
oh my god.
Like, not that they shouldn't have done the strikes, but like,
right.
You know, it kind of sucks because not as
all
much.
The movies were like AI and everything. It was ridiculous. Like that Disney movie Wish. Oh my god.
I still haven't seen it. Have no desire to see it.
I had to because of work. Because I work at a daycare, and we always put a Disney movie in the background. And all the kids are like, "Let's watch Wish," and I'm like, "Okay."
What did the?
Okay, let's do it. Everybody sit on the rug. We'll watch the movie.
Crisscross applesauce.
Yeah. They love it. All the kids are like, it's so good. And I'm like...
Kids, they don't know any better.
I know, for real. And I'm watching this thing, and it's like, the animation literally wants to make me...
look that nice. Yeah.
It's so weird. Because they try to do, like, you know, like in other older animation movies, like The Prince of Egypt, or all the DreamWorks stuff, like Spirit, one of my favorite movies. They try to do like that background is painted and the characters are like the 2D, 3D thing.
The
like
2D,
that weird...
but like computer animated.
Right.
Yeah.
So they tried to do like that whole flat background and then like them. But like this one was like they try to just
But it's just cel shaded 3D.
It is.
Yeah.
But like in the background it's just like painted. And then the characters were so weird. Like I don't even know how to explain it.
Like design wise or personality? Okay.
Well,
both?
I haven't like fully like really watched it
yeah,
to know personality wise.
Yeah.
But design wise, like they were so like the whole movie was very gray, very toned down.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising for
I
Disney.
know. There's only like a few scenes that they had like genuine color, but like the whole overall was just down. And like they tried, like I said, to do like the drawing type animation. It was just so weird to me, and I was like, I don't like this at all. And the songs, no.
I only heard the Chris Pine one.
Oh my god, he's got another one too that he sings with her, which I will admit was like I think the only one I liked, like somewhat was fine. It was a good, like, harmony, like, simple song. And I was just like, okay, cool. Whatever. And then, like, I heard, like, the one he did with, like, I don't even let you have to pay for rent living here. And I'm like...
vent, when you need to vent.
Oh, my God. I actually wanted to scream. But what's so sad was about that movie was that it's, like, the 100th Disney movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's supposed to be, like, an anniversary thing, and celebration.
They tried. You could tell
they tried.
That they tried to put little things from different movies into this.
Like what? Like...
Well, to begin, we think that the king, so in the end, he gets trapped in a mirror. That's how he gets defeated. So we think he's like, the mirror on the wall.
Oh.
And also, I think the girl, she, like, kind of works for the castle, like, works in there, like, kind of in the kitchen. Or at least she has friends who do. I'm not sure exactly. But she's got 7 friends who all have different outfits, different colors, and different personalities. What could that be?
I don't know.
And it was done so poorly. It was awful. Like, the main girl who was supposed to be, like, Doc, like, she was just this random girl, like, short, weird, black bob hair, wears the glasses, and she's, like, the head of the group. There's, like, I think this one big guy who's, like, was there it was, like, bashful, I think. Or there was, I don't remember. And then there was, like, a really, really tiny dude who was grumpy. And he wasn't, like, how Grumpy was in Snow White. He was just, like annoying. That's the best way I can explain it. He was yelling at everything. And high-pitched voice, too.
Oh.
Like, high-pitched male voice. So I was like, no. I was
thanks.
Not doing that. And so, like, the 7 Dwarves, it was, like, half girls and half guys and everything like that. And I'm like, the personality isn't doing it. I was like, this is not working at all. Yeah. But just overall, I think it was just a stupid thing how everyone was, like, giving up their wish. And I'm like...
Yeah, what someone said on, like, TikTok or Instagram or something that I thought was really interesting was, while Wish, like, was trying really hard to be, like, a celebration or a tribute of Disney, Enchanted did that much better without trying.
The new Enchanted? Really?
Just original. The original
Enchanted.
I
was about to say. I was like...
I haven't seen the new one.
I had to for my film. Not good.
Not good? I didn't think so.
Made me sad. I was like, how dare you do this to the first Enchanted? Because the first Enchanted is, to me, like, one of my favorite Disney live-action films. It's so funny.
I need to watch it again.
It's so good. I love Patrick Dempsey, and I love Amy Adams. So it's like, she was perfect. And, you know, James Marsden being the prince who's just dumb. Oh my god, funniest thing. And, like, everybody comes back in the second movie, which I do enjoy. But, like, they just ruin the characters completely. And I hate that so much. And Maya Rudolph is, like, the, like, villain girl. And I'm like, no. No, it doesn't. But, like, she's not even the villain because Amy Adams ends up being the villain. And I'm like, you're ruining her character. Yeah, exactly. She's, like, using magic and she ends up being the evil stepmother.
Huh. Okay.
With magic. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And, like, Patrick Dempsey, like, isn't in the movie.
No?
He is in the movie, but he's gone half the time. You know why? Because he's going to work. So it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, they move to this random, like, suburban town, but it's not a suburban town. It's like a fairy tale town. And everyone, it's like all colors and everything, cutie things. And then, but it's also modern world, and everybody hates Amy Adams.
So confused.
And I know! It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, this is the best way I can explain it. And just, she wishes that she can be back in her fairy tale world and ends up changing the whole town into, like, this, like, a genuine fairy tale world, and it just backfires on her. Huh. And I'm like, what are you doing to the Enchanted? I was like, Enchanted was genuinely so perfect, and you just ruined it. And they made... Oh my god, this is what pissed me off. You know the chipmunk in the first one? How he, like, barely talks and everything? Really?
I don't... It's been a minute since I saw it.
He's, like, the little sidekick she has. But he, like... When he comes into the real world, he's a real chipmunk, so he can't talk. Right?
Okay.
And so then... But when it's, like, a fairy tale world, for some reason, the chipmunk can talk. And he's got a real annoying voice. It's not the same voice actor. But he tries to be kind of like how his original voice was. And for some reason, he, like, transforms into a cat. Because the evil stepmother has a cat.
Okay.
I was like... It was all so terrible. And the CGI was ridiculous.
Mm.
And they just, like I said, ruined the characters completely. And, like, what I was trying to say earlier, like, Patrick Dempsey, when he went off to work, when it changed into, like, fantasy world, he was off to slay a dragon.
Okay.
I was like, what is going on? What is
you
happening?
think they just didn't want to pay his salary for that long or something?
Well, obviously that, but, like, even, like, you genuinely see him trying to, like, slay a dragon for a minute, and I'm like...
Okay, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. And he just walks to a cave, and, like, I don't even think there was a dragon. I watched it once, and I'm trying to still forget it. And, like, he just has, like, a quick, like, not even 5 minutes of thing, and then that's it.
Treat.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I remember our whole class talking about how bad it was, and how, like, the thing was, nobody knew there was a first one.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I literally was like, I watched the first one, and he was like, really? And, like, you, like, why would you, like, not like, why would you do that? He's like, oh, you did that, like, to watch this? And I was like, no, I grew up watching this. And he's like, I've never met anybody who grew up watching this. I was like, what the heck?
Really?
I was like, this is one of my favorite childhood movies. Yeah. And, like, I literally looked around. I feel like
Enchanted is not unknown.
No, that's what I thought, too. I looked around, I was like, has anybody seen the first one? And they're like, no. And I'm like, insane.
Huh.
I was like, okay, no. But yeah, and we were basically the whole time, we were just talking about how Disney's terrible. We're like, this is bad. Oh, man.
Man, speaking of Disney's terrible, one show I did watch this year that I'd forgotten I watched was The Acolyte.
Yeah.
Just announced it's not getting a second season.
I saw that.
Hallelujah.
Which, I don't know, like, I saw how the second one ended, with, like, how she, like, was she, like, kind of going towards the Dark Forest with that guy?
Well, so, she played twins, right?
Oh, it was twins, really?
Yeah, she played two characters. They were twin sisters.
Okay.
And one of them was, like... So one of them, when she was a kid, went off with the Jedi.
Yeah.
And the other one, they thought she died, but it turns out she's alive, and she's been training with the Sith or whatever.
Oh.
And they fight, and then by the end, the Jedi is now going with
the dark guy.
Going to the dark side.
I saw all that because, like, a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, enemies to lovers," and I'm like,
ugh.
Not the best enemies to lovers.
The other one, I think, is with the Jedi now. I don't even. But
so it's like a whole role reversal thing.
Kind of. That's like how it ends.
That's weird.
Because she really thought people were gonna be excited to see what's next.
Well, you'd be surprised. Like,
I know some people are.
I've seen a lot on, like, TikTok and, like, a bunch of different, like, things like that. But, like, everyone's like, I want to see how those two, like, the going to the Sith, like, how that relationship is gonna happen. And, like, I do appreciate a lot of its ideas. Right. Like, that would have been cool to see if the rest of it had just been executed better. Exactly. I definitely think it has the bones of a good story. Right. Like, it's really interesting, the idea of, like, basically a serial killer of Jedi. Right. And I love that it's, like, 100 years before Phantom Menace, so they don't have to worry about all that stuff. Yeah. All the main story. I think that was really, really smart. Yeah. It's really nice to have some High Republic or Old Republic stuff. Right. But the thing is, none of it was just great. Yeah. I will say, I didn't think it was as bad as some people say it is. It was not franchise ruining. It was not the worst thing in the world. Yeah. Like, and it had good moments. A lot of the action was really cool to watch. The lightsaber fights. That's the martial arts. I saw some clips of those, and I was like, "That's actually really, really cool." Yeah, Daphne Keane, the girl from Logan, was one of the Jedi. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, she's really cool, but she dies, like, brutally. Oh god. She gets stabbed 3 times. Like, it's a crazy shot. Like, it's just behind her, and then you just. Nice. It's brutal. Like, I didn't think they would go there, so I kind of respected that. Yeah. Because she was like a kid in the show. Oh, man. I think people are going a little too crazy with the hate. They definitely are. Like, I literally, like, he never watches this anyway, so, like, my was best friend. Like, literally, like, we ended our friendship because he started talking terribly about this, and also just, like, turned to a real complete asshole, and was, like, he was talking about how bad this show was, and then completely turned into politics.
Yeah.
And we made sure in our friend group to not talk about politics, so it was like, alright, dude, bye.
Yeah.
So that, like, and I saw, and not just from him, like, I saw a lot on TikTok how people were like,
yeah,
Disney's ruining it. And I'm like, okay, but there are parts where you can at least appreciate.
And here's the thing, too, is, like, I have gotten just as frustrated as the next guy by them, like, focusing on pushing an agenda more than an actual story.
Right.
I don't think that was the problem with The Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, it had, like, some gay characters or whatever, but the problem was just that the story was not good.
Exactly. Listen, and, like, I don't even care if you do hate a show. Like, you can say you hate the show. And that's fine. Like, I have shows I hate. Mm-hmm. And, like, but you don't have to be, like, it ruined everything, and it's because of this, and turn it into politics completely.
No, I agree.
I cannot stand when people do that, especially with, like, TV and everything like that, especially with Disney.
Yeah.
Because Disney's, like, not like, saying they're changing, but they are going a different route with some certain things. Mm-hmm. And, like, when people get so pissed about that's when I have a problem. I'm like, you need to calm down. Like, unnecessary.
Yeah, there was a lot to dislike about I looked for things to like. I do try to look for things to like and stuff.
And it's at least you try.
I thought the first few episodes were actually kind of interesting. There was one moment that I really appreciated. Okay. Was when the main character's in, like, a jail cell, a holding cell. And she used to be, like, trained to be a Jedi, but she got kicked out, or she quit. I think she quit her training. So she never became a Jedi. Mm. And she tries to use the Force to get out of the cell to, like, grab a key or something to open the lock. Okay. But she fails. And I really appreciated that moment because it's, like, just a really nice way of showing, like, hey, she's not always gonna succeed. It automatically made her a lot more human. Yeah. That being said, the main two characters, the twins, were my least favorite part of the show. Mm. They were not interesting. Mm-hmm. They were kind of annoying. They were... I just didn't like them. Nobody liked them.
That's fair.
I did really like... the guy from Squid Game was a Jedi.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, I've not seen Squid Game yet. I need to get to that. I thought the dark side user guy was pretty cool.
I heard a lot of people say he was in something else, and, like, they're glad that he's, like, getting in other things. I mean, he looked cool. But,
yeah,
I mean,
like, a lot of people think he's hot.
I have no idea who he is.
He's okay.
He's alright. But, like, I do like I said, like, I like the whole relationship thing that he had with that other twin. Like, how she was going into, like, I could see where that could be something, and I definitely think that could have been something on its own.
Yeah.
But, like...
Maybe if she really thinks she can and should continue the story, she can make, like, a novel or something. Yeah. I don't think they need to be... Because they spent an outrageous amount of money on this show.
Heard. That's crazy.
Just for it to be kind of a failure. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know. I don't like to get upset about things. Like, I don't like to waste energy on just hating.
No, yeah.
But, like, it is frustrating, though, when you know how much money... They poured hundreds of millions of dollars into a project like this. Yeah. When that's all money that could have gone to either something that's actually good or, like, freaking, I don't know, charity.
Right. No, totally.
Feeding the homeless, I don't know. But that was a whole thing.
Yeah.
There's some... Let's see, I watched Fright Night. That was really fun. That's my second favorite 80s vampire movie now. About a kid who thinks someone who lives near him is a vampire and hunts them down, and very specific, you know. Like, yeah. Because The Lost Boys is my favorite.
Okay.
That's awesome. Quiet Place Day 1 came out. I liked that a lot.
I still need to watch that. I watched Day 2. Or not Day 2. Sorry,
Part 2.
Part 2. For the first time this summer. That was... it was alright.
I saw it when it came out. Mm-hmm. I remember really liking it at the time.
Yeah, that's good.
28 Days Later was a really good zombie movie. It reminded me a lot of the Walking Dead comics. for various...
You read the comics?
Yeah, I haven't seen the show. I read the entire comic run.
Wow.
I got addicted to those. Like, there are a few times that I've been quite as addicted to reading something as I was with the Walking Dead comics.
Wow.
I could not put it down.
Yeah.
Because I would spend hours. I'm like, I need to do my homework.
That's
One more issue.
Right.
And then, but the thing is, they end every issue on like a cliffhanger.
That's me with any books. Like, oh my god.
So, by the time I like set my phone down to stop, because I was reading them all on my phone. To stop reading, it's been like 3 hours, and I've read like a total of 60 pages or something. Not 60 pages in 3 hours.
I was going to say, I was like,
no. I've read like
long time.
I've read a few hundred pages in a few hours, and it's a whole thing. One time I realized I'd read like 20 issues in a sitting. I'm like, jeez.
One time I read a whole series in like 2 days. It was like 5 books. Because each chapter kept ending in a cliffhanger. And then the book would end in a cliffhanger. So I was like, well, gotta go to the next one.
Yeah.
So that was... It was so insane.
It's fun, though. I just watched Blade because of Deadpool and Wolverine. Which I thought it was fun. Very fun. It was like it was the second Marvel movie. Because the first was Howard the Duck.
Yeah. I remember that.
But Blade was it was fun. It was very campy. Like, it's killing vampires.
Isn't Ryan Reynolds in one?
He's in the third one.
That's right.
Which is supposed to suck.
That's what I heard.
Apparently the first two are good.
He looks a little goofy in there.
He does.
His weird, like, beard goatee thing he got going on. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I am curious to see it. I'll probably watch 2. Don't know if I'll watch 3.
Right. What else? Oh, I can't remember. I don't know. I thought somebody else was in those movies. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think his like mentor guy, Whistler is Chris Christopherson.
Oh, okay.
That might be it. I don't know. Shoot, did you hear about Trap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watched it?
I watched it. I liked it.
Okay.
Like, it was fun.
I think it could have been like something completely different. Like, I literally like, I think like, because I hated how the trailers gave it away.
Yeah, I feel like they should have saved, like, although I do get that, like, they do reveal it pretty fast, because it's kind of the whole premise is...
No, totally, like, and I get
but
that.
It would have been really cool to realize, like, oh, shoot, he's who they're looking for.
I was, like, thinking, like, I think it would have been super cool if it was, like, a group of friends, like, you know, like family friends or whatever, and they're all going to this concert, and, like, we knew there was, like, a killer, but we didn't know who it was type thing. Like, if it was, like, a mystery. Like, I would have liked that a little more.
Like, and maybe, like, a killer is among them kind of situation.
And, like, maybe, like, it was, like, a bunch of them, and, like, maybe, like, 2 were together,
could have been,
and
like,
they knew or something.
Could have been, like, the thing, or just any murder mystery kind of deal. Like, like, all this just rising paranoia that you get from any single location movie. Yeah. That's just, they start pointing fingers and... You know, those are always fun to watch, I think. Like, Reservoir Dogs, The Thing.
I think it would have been cool.
But, I mean, it was fine. Yeah.
Like, I like Josh Hartnett, so
yeah, he was definitely the highlight.
Yeah.
So you didn't see it?
No.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah, no, he's, like, if it weren't for him, he's a large part of why the movie's any good.
If it was somebody else, it probably wouldn't have not gone well.
No, yeah.
I haven't seen much with him, though.
Me neither.
The only big thing I've seen was Pearl Harbor. I love Pearl Harbor. That is such a good movie.
Need to see it.
Terrible thing. Good movie. Really good movie.
I love Pearl Harbor. You heard it here first.
You know when people are always like those one history things you always focus on, and like, or like people are always like, oh, I love World War II. I love Pearl Harbor. Like, I don't know why. That's like my one history thing I focus on.
I mean, I get it. It's a fascinating little.
It's mainly because of the movie. I gotta be so honest. I watched that when I was like 13, and I was like, yep,
fair enough.
Making my entire personality. Because it has, it's Josh Hartnett and Ben Affleck. And they're in a love triangle with this girl. I cannot remember the actress's name. But, it's really good. A long movie. Like 3 hours, I think. But still good. I need to rewatch it.
I rewatched Alien in preparation for Alien Romulus, which I quite liked.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people really like the actress.
I like her. This is the
yeah.
only thing I've seen her in, but I thought she was really good. She did a great job.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen people say she should have been Ellie.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I do kind of agree.
I do too.
Because she looks almost exactly like
I know,
part 2.
it's crazy.
And like that hairstyle she had where like part was back, I was like, that's Seattle right there. I was like, that's actually crazy.
And don't get me wrong, I love
Bella.
Yeah, Bella Ramsey.
I think they're great. And like I genuinely like people were freaking out because they're like everyone was like, oh well, Bella doesn't look the age.
Yeah.
She was 19 when she was in the first season, and 19 is the age Ellie was part 2. All I have to say. So yes, she's clearly the part.
She did an excellent job, obviously.
Amazing.
But Kaylee Spaney is definitely going to be one of those what
I liked
ifs.
Kaylee. Have you seen Priscilla?
No, not yet.
Good. She was good.
I'd like to, yeah.
She was really good. But yeah, no, I definitely do think she would have been a good, like, Ellie, maybe.
Yeah.
But we don't know. I mean, like, I haven't seen her where she has been amazing. Like, she was good as Priscilla, I will say that. But just I haven't seen something where, like, she was, like, I just loved her, and you know.
And similarly, I saw someone say that Hugh Jackman was almost Joel.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that also would have been real, like, as much as I love Pedro Pascal, that also would have been
it would have been so
really,
cool.
really interesting.
I'm seeing so much, like, I saw, like, this video where, they wanted the guy who's playing Jaime Lannister, to play Tommy.
Really?
I was like, that would have been really interesting. Huh. But Hugh Jackman would have been really cool. But
Tommy was the brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think everybody in the show is just perfect as it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, I'm obsessed with The Last of Us in the show and the game, obviously. I played both games twice, and the show I've seen 5 times fully.
Yeah. Is it later this year that the season 2 comes
next
out?
year.
Next year.
So it's earlier next year, though.
Early 2025.
So it's going to be, hopefully, like, kind of a March again, which is when the first season came out in 2022.
It was weekly releases, right?
Yeah. Which kills me, but it's fine. It makes it last a little longer, but still pains me. And, like, it's really interesting with this season, though, because they're adding characters. And I've
like that weren't in the game?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, really?
She's gonna be in it, and have you seen the teaser for season 2?
I think I did.
Okay, so she is, like, in the beginning of the episode, she's like, what did you do? Like, to Joel, and he's like, I saved her, which in the game, part 2, that's literally the opening scene, and it's Tommy talking to him, and Joel telling Tommy everything that happened in the hospital, when he killed everybody to save Ellie. And, so now it's roles reverse, it's Catherine O'Hara, and she's asking him, and he's telling her. And we saw this little, like, tweet and everything, and where it's an interview, and she's like, she hangs out with Joel and Ellie for a few, like, scenes. Huh. And so I'm like,
who could this individual be?
And I'm talking with my friend Grayson, who was also obsessed with it. He has the Ellie tattoo. He just got it, and I'm so jealous. It's amazing. And he's like, people are saying that she could be a love interest.
Yeah,
and
because
like,
it's Catherine O'Hara. Like, they wouldn't make her just some...
Because that's what we were, like, when we heard she was casted, we were trying to figure out for the longest time who she could be. And have you played the second game?
No.
Okay, so it's real confusing. I'm not even kidding. I sat down with Ellie for 2 hours, and I talked to her the entire lore of the second game. Just the second game.
Yeah.
Because we watched the first season. She goes, okay, what happened in the second game? I was like, do you want to hear the whole thing? She goes, yeah. Sat her down for 2 hours. I was like, all right, and this happens, and this. And she was looking at me, she's like, what? But so, like, small, short version, very, very short version. There is...
Abridged.
Yeah. There is a group called the Seraphites in, like, right around Seattle. And they are, like, kind of like this cult thing. We don't know exactly, just kind of like this people who form together and now have this belief. We don't know of what, really. They live kind of like older, like, ways, whatever. And they have this one, like, goddess they worship. And everybody thought Catherine O'Hara was going to be that. Because there was never really a, like, person who was there, obviously. But there's paintings all over the city of this lady. And they're like, we worship her and all these, like, offerings to her.
Okay.
And so we're like, okay, that's Catherine O'Hara. And we see her in the trailer and she's talking and we're like, oh, so it's not. Like, who are you? But this, yeah, the whole thing is going to be really, really interesting because there's supposed to be a 3rd season.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Because also, there's only 10 episodes each season. So, we think is that this season is going to be, because, okay, you haven't played the game. In the game...
I know it's like Abby and
yes, Abby.
Ellie
Okay,
both.
yeah. So everybody thinks that the season 2 is going to be all Ellie's POV, and season 3 is going to be Abby's POV. Which I could see working, kinda, but also not.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Their stories overlap so much that I think it needs to be, like, part of season 3 is Ellie, part of season 2 is Ellie and Abby. And then they just continue it in season 3. Like, they'll leave that cliffhanger.
That's kind of what TV's made for, is having B stories.
Right. And so, it just didn't make much sense when everyone's, like making all these things.
Look at Game of Thrones. That's got, like, 5 different stories going at the same time.
And so, in the game, it literally, like, only has, like, 3 days that are, like, part of the big story. It's, like, 3 days in Seattle where Ellie's trying to find Abby and her friends and kill them all. And then it goes to Abby's 3 days, and she's just trying to go throughout life. And she's got this whole side quest thing with this friend, and also, like, the cult group and everything. It's really, really interesting. And, but, like, throughout both parts, they interlap, and then it keeps going on, and then you play Ellie, but then it goes back to Abby. And it's just, like, it goes flip-flop the whole game. So it's like, how in the world could you just split that? Like, oh yeah, season 2 Ellie's, season 3 is Abby's. Would not make sense at all.
No.
But, and, like, oh my god, I'm just not going to be okay with the whole Joel thing.
Oh, I'm terrified.
It's so bad. I was not okay. Like, each time I even play the game, I get upset, and I even think about it. It's, like, terrible. But when I played the game for the first time, I was not okay, man. I was sobbing in my basement. I was like...
Yeah, did you know it was happening?
Yes, and that's my thing. I knew what was going on. I was like, okay, I'll be fine.
I feel it.
No, like, it was worse seeing it genuinely happening. Because and like, after playing the first game...
Like, even if you hear it, and even if you see it beforehand,
it's the sounds that is, like, the worst. Like, cause, like, you know exactly what happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like, the golf club, yeah. It's terrible. And to think that I have to see Pedro Pascal go through that?
Oh.
How are they supposed to do that? Like, real life? No, thank you.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
I'm so excited for it, but I'm so scared. Like, they've just finished filming. And I, like, my friend texted me that. He's like, they finished filming. I was like, I'm not ready. He's like, I'm so ready. And I'm like, no. I was like, I can't. And he's like, Emma, you're gonna have to accept it. And I'm like, Grayson, you shut up right now. I was like, I'm literally gonna tell you. I was like, the day that episode comes out, I'm, like, isolating myself, and I am not gonna be okay. I was like, I will not be able to leave my room without looking like I've been crying for hours. I was like, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, that's,
It makes me want to play the games again, but, like, I literally leave Friday. I do not have the time. And I'm not bringing... I can't bring a TV. Can't bring my PlayStation, that. So... No. So sad.
Yeah, no, I've had... I think every time I've played a game that's actually managed to make me cry a little, I've still known that, like, what was going to happen, but it's still gotten to me. Like, Red Dead 2, Red Dead 1.
Red Dead 2.
Just both Red Deads.
Yeah.
I played the Walking Dead game.
Oh, yeah, that looks real good.
It's very good, and the end of it was like, that got to me.
Goodness.
And I technically it's the same game, but it's like different. I bought like the collection, so there's season 1 and season 2. Season 2 got me multiple times.
Yeah.
Which, with
The Last of Us, like, I watched the playthrough of both games back in 2020. But I just didn't really care that much, you know? But I knew everything that was going on. And part 2 came out in 2020. So that's why I was seeing a lot of the new stuff. But then I actually played the games last year. I was like, okay, literally this happens, and I know what's going to happen. It's going to happen in, like, 5 seconds. And then it was, and I was not okay. And Edith Ann was watching with me the whole time, and she was like, she was just speechless. She was, like, tearing up, but I was not okay. I was like, I need you to leave me alone. I'm sobbing. It's fine. I'm fine. But, oh man. Yeah, me and my friend want to watch it together, but since, like, it's probably going to be coming out during the school year, we can't.
Oh, that's rough.
Stupid thing. Going to different schools is not fun.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. College next year.
That'll be fun.
I'm sure it will.
It's fine. Once you get there, it took me the first full semester to get used to it.
Mm-hmm. I think senior year. I think this year is going to be a harder time than college.
Oh yeah, it's rough, but it's fun.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I guess we can wrap it up after
2
hours.
I'm sure some of it might be able to be cut. I don't know. We haven't.
The thing is, since we don't have like a central topic,
right?
It's all like nothing's relevant, so everything's relevant.
What's all the 2 hours?
Maybe I'll just upload the raw, unedited.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't think anyone's gonna care. They'll still watch it.
No.
Your one fan will love it.
Hey, he commented. My fan commented.
I saw that.
Shout out to Skeet, dude.
There you go. We love you, dude.
Yeah. That's my guy.
Oh my gosh. Has he commented and watched every video? Or?
He commented on the boys one and he commented on the Deadpool one.
Gotcha. He just hates me.
Yeah, he skipped which ones were between those? A bunch.
La La Land.
La La
Land.
Labyrinth, I think.
Yeah. Twisters.
Twisters was, yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. Alright, well, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Pulp Diction podcast. Remember to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube.
Please listen on Spotify.
Please.
0 listeners.
Please. 0
Spotify listeners.
I haven't actually checked if the last episode. I assume it's none.
Hilarious.
But yeah, I always put the Spotify link in the YouTube description. Okay. So please, you can listen to it on the car on your way to work. Yeah. And put it on a road trip with the family. That's
what I did, driving back from Italy. I listened to the Deadpool episode. I was just like, what are these guys talking about? 4 minutes? I was dying. Yeah. And Tucker just saying the most ridiculous things.
I knew he would be one of the easiest guests.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just says things.
Without thinking. Like, okay, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think he has a filter. It's just not a very effective one.
No. Alrighty.
Yeah, and if you are on Spotify, remember to give us a follow. Remember to rate 5 stars. Yep. And tune in next time.
Yay.